Brothers, it's enough to make a hard rock smile.
I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world. Believe me, nothing make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with a crown that be down for whatever. There are few things that's forever. My lady, we can make war or make babies. Back when I was nothing, you made a brother feel like he was something. That's why I'm with you to this day, boo, no frontin'. Even when the skies were gray, you would rub me on my back and say, baby, it'll be okay. Now that's real to a brother like me, baby. Never ever give my cootie away and keep it tight, alright? And I'ma walk these dogs so we can live in a fat ass crib with thousands of kids. Word like, you don't need a ring to be my wife. Just be there for me and I'ma make sure we be living in the effing lap of luxury. I'm realizing that you didn't have to funk with me, but you did. Now I'm going all out, kid, and I got mad love to give. You my nigga.
Was plain to see, you are my destiny. With you must spend my time. I'll dedicate my life. I'll sacrifice to you. Dedicate my life to you.
I gotta love Jones for your body and your skin tone. 5 minutes alone, I'm already on the road. Plus I love the fact you got a mind of your own. No need to shop around, you got the good stuff at home. Even if I'm locked up north, you in the world rocking 3/4 of cloth, never showing your stuff off, boo. It be true, me for you, that's how it is. I be your Noah, you be my Wiz, I'm your mister, you my missus, with hugs and kisses, Valentine cards and birthday wishes. Please, we on another level of planning, of understanding the bond between man and woman and child, the highest elevation, cause we above all that romance crap, just show your love. Suck up on these. And you don't stop.
Talk to me.
It's a serious one right here. It is real.
Staten Island boys is back.
God damn it.
New York. What the fuck is y'all talking about?
Turn that flame on.
Kneel, nigga, kneel when you see us, nigga. Let's go. Glass of gin for my jewelers. Too many Rugers, gems is 500 bands. Span my swam through Bermuda. Switches got muzzles.
Soon as rebuttals happen, we guzzle, then everything gets twisted like a puzzle. Cyber trucks fly up at the Lux, no doubt. News camera sees the moment, that's alligator chucks. I'm comfortable, said it 2 more times, use the ducks. Remove yourself quickly, might flip you in the clubs. 800 troopers, they all in Coopers. Doofy shotguns and gooses, ice rockin' boosters. Bitches call me Musa, Mansa, you're ruthless. Wow, he got so handsome, his cutie know his future. That's future, flexing in the spectrum with Medusa. Versace jean jacket, interior is blue cup, no hookah. Only big bags eating grouper. Scavengers running, tell your managers the woo coming.
Bandanas, man scanners, chain swinging, pulsating, plug click. Niggas do damage, plus niggas got them semi-autos when we out in Yemen. Buried all over the desert, baby Mac 11s, clap reverends. Grab a big bag on the crap 7s, past present. I'll be GO18 till I crash heaven. Monstrous bankrolls, Modelos and pesos. I send a few of you back to the essence, then have a great show. My wrist game, call it gold caviar. Shootouts on the burgundy swing with gold handlebars. Clark's on flying through the Autobahn. The old deuce flick been plastered inside an Audemars. Catch a photo from the side like Hitchcock. The cameras on the side of my neck, it's all big rock. When I'm holding nothing moving, all gridlock. You wake, I might show up for Dolo with a big lock.
I've been official, but y'all don't think it's beneficial, because my bottom line don't benefit you. The mission was a missile, I'm fitting to send you a missile. That's fitting to hit your fitted, that crown ain't fitting to fit you. Tripping, I'm fitting to trip you. Short vacation, I trip you. It's simple, and that go triple for anybody that's with you. If people know you ready, you already know it's an issue. You found out it's official, them people blowing them whistles. A ref's not a reference when people going against you. Your press is not impressive when people pressing to bench you. Effort, I'm mental, this method is not medicinal. In fact, the earth I'm watering, air and fire, I'm elemental. That's right, I said it, now give me credit with my credentials. And instrumental with fear of God for my essentials. You get it? Plus a New York fitted to guard the temple. Them tracks you bumping, I come with something to pop your pimple. Guessing I'm proactive, too prolific for all you pro rappers who can't find an angle or protractor. They non-factors, haters, just agitators. These bars might take a shot and don't need a chaser to catch ya. Till Peter pay up, it's vital that Peter pay us. In order to get my cake up, I need a baker for rapture.
But still, how will I find them, though?
There is a man who can help you. They know that he's got the money, and there's enough there to make them rich for life.
Let's do a sound check. Who with me? Let's get this lighting situation. I'm sorry, y'all. I almost missed it. Today. Get that light right. Get that light right. What's good with everyone today? Where we at? Where are we? Wow, almost didn't make it, but I'm here. Let's go. Let me get this situation going. Let's do a sound. Can you guys hear me okay? I did not do a sound check. Let's get this up. I rushed in today. I obviously didn't get a shower before I came on, so we'll do the best we can. It's going to take me a minute to get in mode because I'm not on my regular routine. I'm a regular routine type of guy. Shaba, what's good? What's up, Sean D? Jarrett, what's happening on YouTube? Roz, what's happening? Lamont, what's good? John Ludd, what's happening? YouTube. Roz. Carolyn Smith, what's happening? Just put your name in the screen if you want a shout out. I don't know you're here if you don't put your name in the screen. I want to shout out everybody. If that's half the show, let's do a shout out. Let's do a shout out show. Alethea, what's good, sis? Twin, what's happening? Scott Bain, what's good? Thomas, what's good, Thomas? Preston, what's happening? Preston was number 1 today out of YouTube world. Lamont, what's happening? Said sounds good. Fame Rothstein, what's good? He said Etzel is here about to clean y'all whack hags up. I don't know about that. We'll see. Carolyn Smith, Kim Moore Eberhardt, Tanika, what's good? Sunshine State. I don't know. Don't have much today. I don't really have much today. I got a little bit that may be, I don't know. I was thinking about it on my way here in the car. On my way driving home, I sometimes listen to my old school music. And then sometimes, Terry, what's good? Darnell Hunter, what's good? And then sometimes I simply just listen to air. You know what I mean? Anybody just do that? Anybody just, don't want any distractions from your thoughts? I don't I mean, I'm a huge email guy. Like I was telling a friend of mine this morning, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was telling him this morning, like, I don't, I have so many emails each day. And then I was thinking about the people that have my email versus people that may have my cell phone or my social media connection. And I'm like, damn, I've noticed that if you contact me through email, then we're not really that cool. Like, you're not really that relevant in my life. I know that sounds ridiculous. That kind of sounds harsh because I got a lot of people that I know and we communicate via email. And I'm saying to myself, they're not, if you don't have my number, I mean, if you can't text me, then you're probably like a 3-tier contact person. Like, if you can contact me directly, you're probably like this with me. If you're an email contact, I'm just gonna be honest with you, you don't have priority. Let's just say that. So I generally check my emails when I'm in the car or something, and I'll let the car read the email to me. Y'all know how the voice activation, and that's how I do it, to check all my emails each day. And like on my way home today, I was just in quiet. I was just in quiet mode. I just wanted to hear the street, I didn't want to hear voicemails. I didn't want to talk to anyone on the phone. I was just in thought. And sometimes you have to do that. I found that is my, to myself time. And to me, this is going to sound ridiculous, but it is my talk to myself, my mental talk to myself time. You know what I mean? Ask myself questions and then answer them. Not out loud, but in my mind, in my head. Because I don't have a lot of time to myself, to be honest with you. A lot of my time is with other people. It's shaking and moving, but I'm always on the phone. If anybody ever sees me, if you ever see me out walking, I'm generally talking on my phone, or I am in communication via text, via email on my phone. I mean, my phone is pretty much my office, and it's my everything, to be honest with you. If I lost my phone, I would be lost. I don't even know. I don't know anybody's phone number. I think the only phone number that I know is my wife's. That's it. I don't know my children's phone number. I probably don't know yours. If I have your number, I don't know it. I think the smartphone has made me a dumb man when it comes down to stuff. But then the smartphone is good because it helps me. It frees me up. It frees my mind up for other things that I think that are important. Now, don't get it twisted. If I lost my phone, I can go to my cloud and download it to my new phone or whatever device I have. I can load it onto my computer, which is a Mac as well. So that wouldn't be an issue. But if you ask me some phone numbers or some numbers, phone numbers or contact people, I'm going to be lost. I'm going to be lost. I know my wife's phone number because her and I, we're a unit when it comes down to certain things. So when we get our bonus points going places, because I only have one email. I don't have a business email separate from my personal life. My wife has a personal email, and then she has an us email. Okay. But when it comes down to us getting bonus points for like travel or meals or stuff like that, or I don't know, Publix has this thing where you put your phone number in to get, like your bonus points for gas and things of that nature. We always use my wife's phone number. So that's why I know her number. You see what I'm saying? Because if we're at the gas station, I can boop, 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 put her number in and discount gas or build up points and all that. It's on her phone. That's the only reason why I know hers. I probably wouldn't know hers either, because when I call, I just says call wifey or whatever, and the phone will do it. So I'm pretty much lost if I ever had to. If I'm stranded somewhere with no phone and I need to contact somebody, I'm gonna have to get to a computer, log into my I, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I guess I would try to call. I don't know. Anybody ever thought about that? Like, what would you do if you were somewhere stranded? And I travel a lot. Like, I could be in an airport where there's no Verizon service. What up, Tiffany Daniels? What's up, Roz? What up, Stephanie Hyde? What up, Jenny? Someone else. What up, Tanika? Yeah, I travel so much that I could find myself. Carolyn Smith, what's good? I could find myself in an airport with no service or, without a phone or something, and I would be just lost. Because if I had to go to like a payphone, or if I had to, do they still have those? Or if I had to borrow someone's phone, I'd be shit out of luck. So at least I know my wife's phone number. Yeah. And to be honest with you, the way I travel with my with my Mac computer, and my phone is connected to my, to my computer. So sometimes when I'm on the road, if I'm at the airport, when my phone rings, if I don't hit my crossover, my computer will ring as well. So y'all know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, if you have an Apple, here's one of the things I was really thinking about doing, but it's not there yet. Some people don't even have phone services, because I don't know if y'all know this, but you can use an IMS card. It's the way I save money. You can use an IMS card, which will link your phone to your computer, and all you do is DM and FaceTime, Apple to Apple. You know what I mean? Apple to Apple. If you have an Apple account, you can do that. You don't necessarily have to be with Sprint, Verizon, or anything like that. You can just go off of the Apple service. I don't know if Android has anything like that. I haven't had an Android phone in probably almost 20 years, so I don't know. But in Apple, you could do Apple to Apple contact and it not cost you anything. Ed, what's good? Jenny says, I know my immediate family phone numbers. Yeah, I probably should, but I don't. I don't know my daughter's phone number. I neither one of them, and that's crazy. That's a bad dad. I don't know their phone numbers. Write down important numbers on small piece of paper and laminate it. Then keep it in your wallet. What am I, 12? No, I'm not gonna do that shit, Ed. I'm not gonna walk around with laminated shit all in my wallet. I don't even have a wallet. You know what wallet I have? This is my wallet right here, bro. Imagine me. This is my cell phone case. Okay, and my cell phone case has a wallet attached. There's no way I'm going to be able to keep phone numbers laminated. Bruh, listen. If it was, you know what? I'd rather just try to memorize all the shit before I get to doing all of that. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, someone said, let me see it again. You're not gonna be able to scan in and see my numbers on my cards or nothing. But yeah, this is my cell phone case. My cell phone is right here. It's out of it right now. But I have a built-in wallet on each side. And it allows me to keep my credit cards and all my, all my stuff that I may need, insurance cards and stuff to that nature if I need it. Ross says, if you're important, you better keep in touch with me. He must be talking to someone. I don't know. Daryl Hunter, what's up? He says, I'm sorry, Darnell Hunter. He says, I know my wife's and dad's phone number by heart, but the other day, my wife rattled off my social security number and email off the top of her head like it wasn't nothing. Well, now, Darnell, bro, I know my social security number. That ain't impressive. You don't know your social? Listen, bro, before I get too deep into this conversation, because I don't want to go too far. Wait a minute, let me read that again. Maybe he meant something. Darnell Hunter said, I know my wife's and dad's phone number by heart, but the other day, my wife rattled off my social security number and email off the top of her head like it wasn't nothing. He said, I'm like, what the hell? Bruh, that ain't impressive. You don't know your email address? Or are you saying because your wife knows yours? Your wife know your social security? Okay, I think I understand, bro. You do know your social security number though, right? Right, Darnell? I hope so. I don't know my wife's social security number off the top of my head. Hell no. We got that stuff is all stored in the house somewhere if I need it or whatever. You know, I don't know I could probably go to my airline account. You know what I'm saying? You know how we buy airline tickets online from our account? That stuff is stored in there if I ever needed it. And I have it in my phone in my notes. You know, the note screen that you lock, and I have all that information. I have all that. I even have my kids' phone numbers in that note screen. If I lose my phone, I'm shit out of luck. Okay. But for some odd reason, I have their social security number, their date of birth, all that old shit, and their cell phone numbers. We've all had the same cell phone number for probably 20 years. I've never had I'm pretty good with numbers. Like, I remember my childhood number from Laura Holmes. I remember that number because that's the first number I ever had to remember. And I did it at such a young age that it became somewhat of a song. You know what I mean? It was like a memory thing, and it became a song for me. So I remember. I don't know how many people, probably everyone. How many people in the chat, how many people watching right now can remember their first phone number? That one phone number that you had to learn from home. Your mother taught you or your dad taught you that phone number. And that's the one we had to know. Like, we went to school or whatever. That was the first, your first phone number you had to remember. It was your house number. I'm sure a lot of us remember that, right? I do. I remember that. I'm pretty good with numbers. There's not a number that, I don't know the new stuff, but from like addresses and zip codes and where I was when I was, my phone number in Louisiana and New Orleans, I remember all that stuff. It's just a natural thing, because back then you had to learn it. You could go to school today in the first grade or the kindergarten and shit, and teachers be like, well, what's your home phone number? And chances are they're going to hold up a phone and they're going to say, my home number is. I don't even know if parents are teaching kids how to tell, what their phone numbers are today. Hell, what I just learned the other day was amazing to me. I don't know if this is accurate or not, because I don't have a kindergarten, I don't have a first grader, I don't have an elementary school kid at all. But what I've learned and what I've heard from some of my family members who do have kids in school is they're not even teaching kids how to tell time anymore. Can anybody verify that? Can anyone solidify that? Can anyone tell me that that's true or false? Like, they're not teaching hands of the clock anymore in school. Is that true? Someone help me with that. Stephanie Hyde, she says, I have a book that I have transferred all my phone numbers and emails. Yeah. See, the problem is the book that I have, Steph, is my phone. It keep up with everybody's email. It keep up with everybody's phone number. It keeps up with everything. I don't want to skip. Look, man, I ain't trying to have nobody's phone number. Why y'all putting y'all phone numbers all in the sky? I'm just, okay. PSA, it's not my fault if somebody called one of these phone numbers looking for y'all asses, okay? Michelle Hardy says, I remember mine. That's how you answer that question. People up here posting phone numbers, knowing your granny still live at that apartment. And maybe you're going to have people calling, Jenny there? Is Jenny there? Stop. Look at this one. Ronald Dixon put not only the phone number, but the address. It make you feel like we in the second grade all over again, don't it, Ronald? I ain't mad at you, bro. I tend to have that thing with people. I take us back to our good old days when we were innocent and nice and shit was good and we believed everything. You know what I'm saying? That innocence before we became cynical people. I tend to do that. Let me see if I can fix this damn screen or this. Let me see if I can fix this. It's driving me crazy. Try that. Someone, I think AK-47. Angela Kinney, what's up, sis? Jared, what's good? Everybody's pretty much saying that they can remember their phone number. Some of them are even. Lannis Timmons, what's up, brother? Lannis Timmons, once again, put his phone number. He said first number. Some of y'all still got the phone number. Yeah, I mean, not yours. I mean, it's still affiliated with your household. Like my grandmother, if she was alive, my grandmother had that phone number all the way till she passed. That happened to be my first phone number. You get it? Like my first phone number was, it was quite a few of us living in an apartment in Law Homes. And that phone number that I had to learn happened to be my grandmother's number, who my mom and I and my uncle, we all stayed in one apartment. And that was the first phone number that I ever learned is the same phone number my grandmother had when she passed 7-8 years ago. So that phone number has been with me forever. Ed says, and I know y'all remember this one. He said his phone number was 777-9311. And if that sounds familiar to you, that's because it's a song. 777-9311. And that's how I remembered my phone number before that song even came out. I kind of made it into a jingle. I made it into a song. That's how I was able to do it. And it's weird because there's a couple other songs. I think Climax came out with a song too. That was Time, right? Time made that song. And then I think Climax came out with a song as well about a clock or a time or something to that nature. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a chance to check the archives of Climax and go get a song or two. Tanika says, I don't remember none of that. All right. Donna says, I still remember my childhood number. Carolyn Smith says, we have a grandfather clock, and whenever my grandson is here, he has to tell me the time. So is that true? I think AK-47, I think Angela Kinney, okay, she said they only know digital, not analog, so they don't teach time. Let's be honest. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. And the reason why I don't care, it sounds wrong. It sounds wrong. But I don't care because times change. And I believe that the way that kids see time on clocks, from cell phones to clocks on the wall, I don't really think it's necessary to learn, I don't know, hands on the clock. I don't know if it's necessary. Times have changed. There's things that we had to learn as a kid because that was the only way we had it. And with times changing, I can understand why kids aren't learning certain things. I tell you what, they're also not teaching from my understanding. Like I said, I'm not an educator. I haven't been in a classroom. These are things that I've just heard through the grapevine because I do have family members that have younger children. I heard that they're not teaching cursive writing anymore. And I'm probably late on this, but I heard they're not teaching cursive writing anymore. They're not doing, I know they're not doing math the same, but the cursive writing, and that's another thing where I say I can understand. They're not really writing letters in cursive. Everything is digital these days. Hell, they can't even really spell real words. Everything has an abbreviation or everything has some type of code to it to mean something. You know what I'm saying? Everything's, you don't write in cursive when you're texting. Curse writing, is that proper? Cursive writing is not necessary in today's society. I can't remember the last time I've written anything in cursive. I can do it with the best of them, but I don't remember. When was the last time you wrote something in cursive? Maybe your job requires you to do it, but I can't remember. I just don't remember the last time I ever had to write a letter. I can't remember anything. Stephanie Hyde says, Wyatt, to your question about teaching children the time in school, that's not within this curriculum. So sad. They have just started re-implementing writing back into the curriculum. Really. I don't have a problem with it because it's not necessarily sad in my opinion. And the reason why I don't think it's that sad is because we don't even use it in our today world. Lamont, excuse me, Lamont. I'm sorry, bro. He's because the screen is moving. Lamont Edwards says my son's school still teaches it. All right, Steph, I did. I checked the comments move so fast for me because I just can't see them all. LaDonna says I was mad. I broke my neck to learn cursive. Yeah, I had very bad penmanship as a kid. I couldn't write regular basic letters real well. I'm not a very good artist. I can't draw. I used to love it. Some of my friends would draw and all that. I was a very good stick drawer though. I could draw stick figures with the best people. I couldn't draw real men, real action figures, superheroes. I couldn't do that. I drew a car pretty good, but it was a real basic car. But yeah. So my penmanship was very bad, and my kids even get on me about my penmanship now. You can barely read my name when I sign my name. Fame says learning to write cursive is as important as critical race theory. Okay. You know, when Fame say some shit, you got to kind of think about it first before you agree or disagree. You got to like, well, you know, I don't want it to be an angle that he's talking, but where is this coming from? See what I'm saying? But yeah, I understand what he's saying. Jenny says, where is that? Where's that? Oh, I am writing and excuse me, screen moves right away. I am a writer and write on my own. So yes, cursive is important to me. Yes, I can understand that. But here's what's going on today, Jenny. They got these things called laptops, not necessarily laptops. The what do they call them? iPads, where children of today don't even have to write what they feel, what they mean. They can say it, and then they can hit a chat button, GPT, hit that button, and that button will ask them. There'll be another prompt, and it says, "Do you want this to be in religion form, funny, professional? What form do you want me to write this?" And you tap it, and it'll rewrite your sentence for you in a much more professional, much more funny, much more whatever you choose. It'll write it for you. It's amazing to me what technology has done to make us all dumb and stupid. Instead of learning how to express ourselves, we can say something as simple, and then you hit a button and it can rearrange that whole thought, your whole thought, and make it more expressive, make it more important, make it more religious, make it different than and you'll love it. It's crazy to me. And if you don't like the first one that they give you, you can hit it again, reload, and they'll give you a different one. Yeah, that chat GPT is a bad boy. But what it does, to be honest with you, it's you know, I don't want to talk about my children. They ain't got on me enough about talking about them on the platform. But I will say, having kids in this era of school, it is something that the schools can't really do anything about. It's something that's the schools are one of those things where they're saying, and they're throwing their hands in the air and they're saying, well, we can't stop it, so let's just allow them to do it, but we're going to put restrictions on how they do it. Makes sense. Something that they will never be able to stop. It's something here, and it's going to attack us. It's already attacked us in the schools, but it's going to attack that same chat GPT and all that type of stuff. All of that stuff is nothing but AI, and that is going to attack our workforce the same way it's affecting our schools and making us do less. We're going to have to do less as we get into the workforce as well. I'm just being honest with you. There's going to be a time. I think the scariest moment in life, I hope I'm not around. I hope I'm dead and in a bottle or some shit wherever they're going to sprinkle my ashes. I hope I'm dead by the time this happens, when the human being is not necessary to function, to produce anything. I don't think I can live in a world where I'm not necessary, or I don't, they don't need, the world don't need me to be able to do for the world to function. I really don't want to live in a world like that, because if people who don't like capitalism are mad now, they're really going to be mad when it is a selective amount of people who can actually make money. Think about that. I'm not trying to be rude or nasty, but if we allow AI to take over, that's going to it's going to eliminate 75% of the workforce. The other 25 is going to all be AI related. So what is the 75% of the workforce going to do when they have to stay at home? And then that's going to just generate a normal society, probably a socialist economy. Everybody's going to have to get a check. If you can't generate an income, somebody's going to have to take care of you. I don't know if people really thought about this, but if you don't have a place to go to work, how do you raise money? How do you, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do for income? I think Ron Dula may have spoken at one time. That's right up his alley. I don't know if I really want to have that conversation today, Ron, if you're watching. But yeah, that is something that people better look out for. And like I said, if I was born all over today, if my birthday was today and I was turning 1 hour old, and let's just say by the time I finished school 18 years later or 12 years later, because I probably would go to college, I would be into the tech world. You see what I'm saying? I would be in the tech world. There's nothing else in the world for you to do. You're not going to have to build tables. You're not going to have to work in the fields. You're not going to have to do any of that. Like, have your gardens and stuff like that. You're not going to have to do any of that stuff. That stuff will already be done. There'll be things in place for all of that stuff to take place without you. Been about that check. Hold on. He says, and I know I'm skipping over some comments, guys. It's just moving fast. Let me go to Sierra Brooks real fast. She says gig economy and jobs that require physical labor, but then again, robot technology is on this rise. Yeah, Sierra, if you go and Google China and its robot situation. Hell, you can even go as far as Tesla. Tesla has robots, but in China, let me see if I can find this clip. I've been wanting to show this for the longest. Maybe I've shown it once before, but I want to show you this pizza shop over in Paris. All right. And it is like, what are we going to need people for? If we are sitting back, if a pizza can be ordered, you already see it in McDonald's. If you walk in McDonald's, they don't really have cashiers anymore. You tend to put your order in the screen, and it does everything but cook it itself, and then that's on the way as well. I don't know if I have that pizza. Yeah, I don't know if I have that it's with self restaurant. There's a restaurant that I seen where in Paris, just on a video, and it was a pizza joint, and they actually put their order in the screen how they wanted the pizza, and the pizza was made by a robot. The arms, just like they build cars. I figure if you can build a car with a robot, you can definitely build a pizza. And I just think it's going to be a horrible time if you're not in the right field. And one of the things that I say about my little young brothers and sisters is it's very pivotal that we get in these fields, because the jobs and things that we're looking to do, even plumbing. I know a lot of people want to talk about these labor jobs that are always be here. I'm going to tell you right now, technology is knocking on the door of all fields, including labor jobs. I was looking at a buddy of mine who's building a home right now. He's building a house right now, and he has probably close to $100,000 just in technology upgrades. Okay, things that you and I may not have on our house yet, because I haven't built a house in 2025. Houses that are being built in 2025 right now could have up to $100,000 in new technology upgrades, which means they have plumbing lines that are all geared up, and you can flush your lines through your computer. You don't need a plumber when your lines are digital. Okay, it's just a lot going on, and it tells you everything as far as when your air conditioning unit is not functioning properly, and it tells you everything. Hell, to be honest with you, I thought we was doing something. The Wyatts, I thought my wife and I was doing something. It's her thing. My wife is out into all these gadgets and jingers and Tinkerbells and shit at the house. So we have these things called smart lights. I'm sure some of you guys have them too. I thought was very impressive. When we go out of town, if we're gone, we can operate the lights. Remember back in the day, your Christmas tree and your lights when you was gone, and your porch light had to be on them big ass timers. Looked like it was a big ass timer with the little digital thing. Click the things on. Okay, 8 p.m. Cut the light on. They don't do that anymore. We can control our lights, our air conditioning, we can control pretty much the entire house from our cell phone. And what are we going to do later? I mean, what are we going to do later? They're making it where you don't even, this same buddy of mine, he'll never have to cut grass because he's putting down like this turf grass. I mean, he's going to save a ton of money. You see what I'm saying? It's an all natural grass. It's the same thing that they have down at Paul Brown. It's not Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati anymore. Paycor Stadium. It's the same thing where it looks just like regular grass. It looked like it's growing. It stays trim. That's how they're building the houses now. You're not going to have to cut grass. You're not going to do a lot of things. So me not being a grass cutter, look at how much money it's going to save me over the years because I spend a lot of money on lawn care, a service. So what does that do to that lawn care company that I use? See, it cuts their money. Let me go to the phone lines real fast before I get on topic. Let's get it in real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's Ron, man.
Hey, Ron, how you doing, brother?
I'm good.
I said, hey. I must have said something that's right up your alley because I just spoke your name up. Did you hear me?
Yeah. And I mean, you did.
Okay.
But I mean, first of all, it's important for everybody to realize we going to universal income. And like you said, and we going there a lot sooner than everybody thinking.
You think it'll be in our lifetime, Ron? You and I?
Shit, universal income?
Yeah.
We going to universal. They'll have universal income by 2028 or 29. No doubt.
What?
Now,
wait a minute. Say that you said by 2028, 29.
2028 or 2029.
I don't know about
if
that.
Not sooner. Now, I can tell you why they're gonna have it sooner. Okay. Now, I think, damn, I don't even remember where I was talking to or who I was talking to.
Okay.
But now, right now, Trump has went to not England. England. We'll just call it England.
Okay.
He went over there. That's his second trip over there. U.S. president has ventured over there on a second meeting in history. Okay. Now, like I was telling you, now when Russia invaded Poland's and what's the other state next door, or another country? Romania. Poland and Romania's airspace. They did that. Now, they have 3 bombers in Venezuela. The Russians have. They snuck them motherfuckers in there during Biden's administration. Now, you got to remember, Trump has ordered military vessels, destroyers, off the coast of Venezuela. And he's also ordered military planes, F-33s and stuff, ordered them to Puerto Rico. Now, Trump said that when he had that meeting with the Russian President Putin, that if he didn't do the sanctions or he didn't do the things that he wanted him to do with Ukraine,
Okay.
He was going to put sanctions. He didn't put sanctions on them, and he hasn't put sanctions on them. That's a 8,000% increase China's immigration here. And they bought 350,000 acres of farmland here, plus they purchased Smithfield and a whole bunch of other businesses here. Now, with BRICS, you see that they had that meeting with Korea, China, and Russia last week or the week before.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
You know, Trump is panicking. Ain't nobody saying nothing, but Trump is panicking. Ain't you noticed? Ain't nobody called him Taco lately? Now they was calling him Taco because he couldn't get he couldn't get done what he wanted to get done. They called him Taco. You ain't heard him. You ain't heard them calling Taco. You ain't heard him calling Taco.
Got you. No, you're right. I haven't heard that.
The thing about it is, they had the war is escalating everywhere, and they have to get. Trump signed that Genesis Act. That was a cryptocurrency act. And this is the only thing. This is my last part.
Okay.
That was a cryptocurrency act. With BRICS, the only way he can battle that BRICS situation is with cryptocurrency, with it going national or with it going worldwide. Okay. And all, like I told you a long time ago, all the major banks have put patents on digital currency. We are going to go to digital currency sooner than later.
Ron, can I ask you a question about that?
They're going to fuck around and start a war in order to get that digital currency.
Ron, let me ask you a question. I'm a little confused. I hear what you're saying, but I just you saying digital currency, is that different than what you just mentioned earlier in the conversation?
No, that's cryptocurrency.
Not crypto.
That's cryptocurrency.
Not crypto. That's not what I'm talking about. You mentioned something about what did you call it at the beginning where we have one particular
universal income.
Universal income. Okay. That's
and
different.
Klaus Schwab is the one that was talking about it in the first place. That's the word. That's the oh shit. Oh yeah. Throw it in the screen, Shaba.
What?
I can't think of what it was. Klaus Schwab was.
Well, digital currency is definitely going to happen a lot sooner. Is that what you meant was going to happen in 2028?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. That's
right.
the digital currency.
I could see that.
I
could see that. You keep saying cryptocurrency, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about digital currency. Okay, I'm talking about where money
is cryptocurrency.
Well, cryptocurrency is a form of digital currency. It's not. I see what you're saying, but it's really just kind of flipped. And I'm not trying to split hairs. I'm just saying because there's so many other ways of doing digital currency. You can't just call it crypto because crypto is not the only digital currency. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know no other digital currency.
What?
I don't know any other digital currency besides cryptocurrency.
Okay, I thought that when you
I don't know.
Well, I thought that when you use money through digital forms, that was considered to be digital currency.
No, see that's what we use now.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about.
See that's not.
You're talking about the premise, the base of money. You're talking about it won't be the same layout of how they do it. Not printing money, but how money is generated. How you set the inflation rates and things of that nature. It'll be based off digital earnings, digital currency earnings, meaning crypto, versus how we do it with the GDP of the United States of America now. Is that what you're saying?
Money is going away. Cash money is going away. But cash money and the way we do money
But those
right
are
now is
those
going
are two
away.
different things. Cash money. Look, if we stay on that particular subject, at just stay right there for a second. Yes, cash money is definitely going out of the window. I mean, we're definitely not going to do that anymore. Now,
I'm not just talking about cash as in paper money.
I understand.
I'm talking about cash as in credit cards, debit cards, and all that shit.
Right.
That's going away.
Right. I hear that.
We have a form of debit cards, but all of that shit is going away.
Right. I understand.
So they not dealing with no cash no more.
I understand. But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish your point.
No, go ahead.
I just thought that we were talking about the same thing at first, but we clearly aren't. I was talking about when you said digital currency, I'm thinking no more cash money. Okay, that's where I was in my conversation. I was talking about how they're going to go. Yeah, Ron, you started out saying they're going to have digital currency and it's going to be the only way by 2028. But where I misunderstood you is I thought you meant universal income, because you said universal income and then you said it'll be in place by 2028, but you really meant digital currency, right?
No.
So you mean universal income?
I meant both of them.
So you think that, and see, that's where I disagree. I knew you said that because you said universal income will be in place by 2028, and I have to disagree with that. Because you can't take universal, you can't even start universal income until the jobs are gone. You see what I'm saying? I mean, like, you can't say universal income because we still have a ton of plumbers. We got 15,000 plumbers in the world. So until everybody's set up to be dependent amongst AI and robots, that universal income will never be a thing until we become dependent of the robots. I don't see us being dependent on robots as soon as 2028. I just don't see that.
So now I'm saying universal income in digital currency, cryptocurrency, because now all those jobs at Microsoft and all them those places, they going away. They going away like 40 going north, because they got this thing called AI agents that pick up everything. That just pick up everything, and they have the AI is all self-learning. So when it gets a hold of something, it's gonna learn and learn and learn and learn. Now, you don't have no customer service jobs no more. They're very thin, and they're basically going to be obsolete, because those robots can learn. They've learned to talk back to you. And you have you gotten any phone calls from a robot that interacted with you?
You know what? I don't know, but I doubt that I could even tell. And the reason why I say that, Ron, is because my phone pretty much picks up solicitation, and
I'm not talking about solicitation.
What you talking
about? I'm talking about customer service.
Oh, no.
Things that interacted with you like a human. Have you experienced that yet?
No, I can't say I've experienced the part where it interacts like a human. Now, my chat on some of the software that I deal with, yes, but like on phone calls and things of that nature, where I hear a voice, no. But on chat, yes, I've had situations where I was trying to get some information or get directions on how to do something, and it was actually a computer telling me, and when it'd say, type this if you have this issue, type that, and then it'll give me a response based on my needs. It'll tell, but it wouldn't talk to me. So I haven't had that experience.
Okay, well they're talking now.
Okay,
they're talking. They're talking, and as we speak right now, they're learning to talk better. And when we get off the phone, they're gonna learn to talk better than that. Right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, because
those
robots,
tomorrow they would learn to talk better than that.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's
okay,
a progression. I get it. But what I'm saying, Ron, is I've seen videos. I know what you're talking about because I've seen restaurants in China that have robots that are coming over to take your order, and they're so they're so detailed that if you don't want onions, if they say a sandwich has 10 different items that you can put on it, the robot actually knows everything that you're saying to put on or take off, and they're detailed. They're very intelligent. I've seen that. I've seen videos.
They have a full-blown hospital in China that's run by AI. They're working on robot surrogates to carry a baby.
Yeah, that's a little spooky.
To carry a baby.
That's weird, though.
That
to be honest
shit is wild. We don't have long. We don't have long. And this is what I called to say, man. I'm telling you, people invest in that cryptocurrency. You can buy as much and as little as you want. You can go through penny stocks. I mean, but get some. I'm invested in that XRP and Bitcoin.
Okay.
But I mean, get you some crypto. I'll say one other thing. A coworker of mine at Humana, walked up to me one time, and we were talking, and he was talking about penny stocks. And he was investing in this penny stock, and he told me, "Hey man, invest in a penny stock." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I told my son and his girlfriend, and it's the first time I let it come out of my mouth. But the penny stock, and then this was in 2008 about, the penny stock was Monster. The penny stock was Monster. And you know what Monster do, right?
You're talking about the company, the Monster company?
Yeah, the Monster, the drink.
Yes, you're talking about the beverage.
The penny stock was Monster. And I didn't pay no attention or invest in that penny stock. And I robbed myself. I robbed myself a few times.
You didn't know. You didn't know they were.
I'm telling you, invest in that cryptocurrency, because that you're gonna be a millionaire if you invest in that at the right time. Why in the world do you think that Gemini, that Trump signed that Gemini bill, and black folks ain't talking about getting no cryptocurrency?
Well, let me just say this. Let me say this. There's so many different brands of crypto and Bitcoin, and you see what I'm saying?
But they ain't talking about none of it.
I know, but we still have to be careful. I think we should share the knowledge, but we still have to be careful not to get into
but they ain't
anything.
talking about it.
No, I get it. Trust me, bro. We are. Listen, I'm going to show some video. No, Ron, you're right on point. I think you bringing me right into a good part of what segment that I want to talk about, because we're always kind of late when it comes to money, or we have to depend on someone else's information. And then once they start telling us, it's a little too late to be at the ground floor level. You understand what I'm saying? We got to start getting our money in the ground floor level of things, so we could build that generational wealth like a lot of people have over these decades, on top of decades here in America. When COVID first started, bro, I told everybody on Wyatt Live, we got a lot of new people here, but we still have some people here from the original Wyatt Live crew. I told everybody this is a brand new beginning, folks. I said, when this COVID thing is over with, it's going to be just imagine your credit being wiped all the way out to a zero number all over again, or starting right over at 520 or 540. Watch this as being a new beginning. So new beginnings should also be the opportunity for us to be able to get into things. And I said, it's going to be so much money out there and so many beginning starts that we got to start talking about it. And for some odd reason, I just fell off of talking about it a lot because people stopped watching when I start talking about those inside little money things. It just wasn't interesting. So I kind of bounce back into, you know what I mean, what we do each day here. But to be honest with you, you have a point, Ron.
I'm gonna get off this phone, man.
Okay.
But I'm telling y'all, you know, I said that, but I'm telling y'all, I've been saying, and you know, for a couple years, you better meditate, pray, and prepare, and because something is coming. And I'm telling you, you can look around. This is what I was talking about. I'm not telling you that something that I don't know. Gifts are without repentance. I've seen it. I've seen it. Something is coming. And you got to meditate, pray, and prepare, because like Lincoln was saying, this gonna be a big deal.
Okay.
All right.
What's gonna be? Okay. All right, Ron. Thanks for engaging with us, brother. All right. Vernon, what's up, B? He says, wait, let me go up one. I'm sorry. Let me go up and get this one. Shaba said, put my whole stimulus back pay 6K on Bitcoin when it was 24K in late 2020. In late 2020. I got a buddy that did pretty much the same thing, except it wasn't his stimulus money. He bought it when it was 17,000, and he told me to get in it, and it was 17,000 a share, and I'm like, you know, I don't understand it enough. This was right at COVID. I didn't understand it enough. It was 2020. I didn't understand it enough to invest heavily into it. Now, I was just telling Ron about Bitcoin. I do own Bitcoin. It's called Bitcoin, and it has been going up lately. I'm looking at the Bitcoin. It's up 1.42% today, as of today, and climbing. But I honestly tell you guys, I'm just a kid. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't say that. I'm just a dude. Can't say young. I'm just a dude from John Street. I've never went to any type of stockbroker classes, investment classes. I've never done that. I've just been able to hang around some of my buddies and my friends that have done it, and I listen to them. I'm kind of like one of those visual learners, or I'm a good listener to learn. I've never went to any classes, so there's a lot of terminology in that area that I'm not familiar with, and there's a lot of things that I don't know, that I don't know about when it comes to Bitcoin. I'm troubled when it comes to Bitcoin, because I believe it or not, I think it's a gamble. And I know that sounds crazy, because the stock market is a gamble. However, what the stock market has is tangible companies. They have companies that produce items and produce something that passes the test or fails the test. It creates something that you can see. Jergens, Procter and Gamble, they all have they have products. So when a product is doing well, you as a consumer, you as an investor can see these products doing well. And that's what I go by off of to make my judgment if I think it's worth investing in. You see what I'm saying? Bitcoin is just like playing pick 3 number, pick 4. There's nothing but a freaking bowl or something riding around, and each day they're going to pick numbers out, and you either win or you lose. You know what I'm saying? And for some odd reason, I'm not seeing anything tangible connected to Bitcoin or any other of this digital currency stuff. It's not connected to a tangible, to a company. It's almost like they can say, you won today, you won today, you won today, and you lost today. You lost today. You won today, you lost. And I just don't see how they come up with the wins and the losses. There's not a product there. There's not a product there. So it's very hard for me to say, hey, get in this, get in that. And now if you look at a lot of the Bitcoin, if you look at a lot of the digital currencies today, they have thousands of them. They have thousands of them, thousands on top of thousands. And like Ron was saying, and, you know, it's kind of, you know, I understand what he was saying. I understand what he was saying when he was saying, you know, black folks don't talk about it. And I seen what my man Vernon said. I'm torn in between, because I don't see a lot of us talking about Bitcoin and crypto and things. We don't really talk about it. And what a lot of people don't understand is like anything else. Anything that can start out being a dime a share, sometimes, we don't get into it until it's $1.10 a share. So the people that got in at 10 cents a share, they're rich, like what Ron is talking about. Because now we're buying in at 110 and they bought in at a dime. They bought in at 10. And now we're starting to learn and we thinking we hitting licks because now we making 50 cents. They're making $1.60. And it's just, we have to start being more aware of how the money move. We worried about a lot of other things. And I think those are distractions to how you really win. I mean, I've learned a lot of people in my life just coming up. I remember people telling me, don't worry about that. Don't do that. Don't worry about that. That ain't the right thing to do. Don't put your face on no damn advertisement. Don't do this. They ain't gonna let you do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. That ain't the way to do that. That ain't the way to do this. Y'all get what I'm saying? And I blew a lot of opportunities by listening to people that I really thought knew what they were talking about. And I really thought that since they were older than me, or since they seemed to have a little knowledge, I really let them steer me in some ways that set me back probably 10 years. I wasn't doing things that I should have been doing. I was doing things that someone was guiding me to do based on I thought they knew what they were talking about, because that's the way it always is. That's how they were raised. That's how they did things. So I guess that's the way I'm supposed to do it too. And then when I start doing things on my own, I start migrating. I know y'all don't like to hear that. When I start doing business with different people, migrating and taking all these chips off my shoulder about who I'm dealing with and why I'm not doing this, things changed. I used my own instincts. I didn't go off my uncle's instincts. I didn't go off the man whose business failed in the hood. I didn't listen to his instincts. One of my favorite people in the world, I don't know, y'all probably remember this name, and I bring him up occasionally, Vince Martin. Vince Martin, who owned the arcade and the candy store and the the store down on Land Street, Vince Martin's, right? I used to go in Vince Martin's and sweep for quarters so I could play the video games, get me some licorice and get a Three Musketeer, a Reese cup, whatever. And I used to overhear him and his wife. They own that together. And he told me one day, he said, Lil Rand, he said, the biggest mistake I made in my life was listening to other people. He said, I should have bought this building. See what I'm saying? I should have bought this building. I should have did this. I should have did that. I'm listening to the man. And by the time I realized what he was telling me, as I got older, I kept it in my mind. I fell down the same patterns that he fell down by believing someone else, by listening to them tell me how their path didn't work out. They don't tell you that their path don't work out. They just say, this is how it is, and this is how it's always gonna be, because that's just how it is. And that, they ain't gonna let us do this. They ain't gonna let you buy that building, Vince. They ain't gonna let you buy that. They ain't gonna let you do this. They ain't gonna let you do that. And I kind of fell down that little rabbit hole myself by, like I said, I'm 10 years behind where I should have been years and years and years ago. I didn't step into a microwave since then, because I don't care who agrees or disagrees or who I'm doing. I don't care. I've learned a long time ago that the people that criticize you the most are probably the ones that fear your success. The ones that criticize and want to joke on you and how you moving and how you doing things, and he this, she's that, she thinks she better than me. Yeah, they probably are afraid that you might achieve something that they were not able to do. And that's just, it's not that hard. We older now, so we can clearly see that's what it is. It was like the kids that would tease us at the playground for having on nice sneakers, nice shoes. If you ever look at they shoes, it ain't nobody ever teasing you that have on good shoes or brand new tennis shoes. Brand new tennis shoe people, hung together and everybody was cool. The only motherfuckers that was making fun of somebody's shoes is somebody that had on some raggedy shoes. Think about it. They wanted you to feel bad because they didn't have raggedy. You didn't have raggedy shit on. So I mean, that shit grow with those type of people. Those type of people are a dime a dozen. Those type of people are around us every day. Those type of people are even moving a little smoother these days. They make it sound like they on your side. They make it sound like they on, they want you to succeed. But they get closer and closer and closer. And it's the tactics that they use. It's the tactics that they use. They use things that make you drop your guard. You know what I'm saying? You drop your guard because y'all know what I'm talking about. You just feel like they would never do me like that. You feel that way. Why would somebody do that to me? But believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, I'm glad we were on this a little bit, and Ron opened up some speaking points. Got a couple videos I wanted to share. Yesterday, I didn't bring up the fight at all. Pretty much, I talked about the fight, but I didn't talk about what some of you guys put in the screen, which was I didn't want to jinx myself. All right, and what I mean by that is simple. Y'all know I put a little bread on the fight, okay? And the money that I bet, it takes 48 hours business days to clear, okay? So as of this morning, it cleared, all right? So I'm not the type of person to say I got a deal pending, or I don't talk about that shit. It's jinky to me, all right? It's really jinky. When you start talking about, I'm working on my album. Yeah, I remember all that shit. I remember guys always talking about what they had coming up. This about to happen. That's coming up. This big. This about to happen. And this about to happen. That and then none of that shit evolves. And it's because people use their prayers to make sure your shit fall out the sky. I'm just being honest. If people think you already got it, they don't pray for you not to get it. Okay? But if a motherfucker know you on the verge of coming up on something big, I don't know. It may not be you, but there are people that actually get on their knees at night, and you're not gonna believe this, or walk around mad all day, burning up their prayers to the Lord that you don't get what they see coming for you. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy because you would think, why wouldn't somebody be happy for you? Or you would think, why would they waste a prayer on what I'm getting? And shouldn't they use that prayer for themselves, on themselves getting something? No, you'd be surprised. Some people know they can't do certain things. So the only power that they actually have in their mind is they don't know it. This is a subconscious thing. They don't know they're doing it. So that's why I'm not mad. They'll sit back and find a reason or a way for you to criticize and to maybe probably stop what you're trying to do instead of focusing on themselves. You ever notice that? Y'all ever notice that the people that talk about you the most never say anything about themselves? They never have anything to brag. They don't brag about themselves. I've never really met a person that's a hater. Y'all call them haters, right? I've never met somebody that talk bad about somebody all day, or not just one person, talk bad about people all day. And then on the other side, they're talking about themselves all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're bringing themselves up. Now, granted, it sounds like a person that could exist. I just don't find myself around those type of people. I'll be honest with you. I just don't. I mean, I used to have a person that was in the office all the time that was just negative. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't brag about themselves. They were just negative about everything. And I just very seldom do I see someone that's talking bad about you, talking bad about somebody, and then all they do is talk good about themselves all the time. I don't see that. I don't see it, because those people, if they talk good, they're probably lying. Because people that are in good spaces and that feel good about what they're doing and feel good about life, and they breathe in fresh air every day, those are the type of people that really don't care nothing about what everybody else is doing. They enjoying themselves. So I don't know how many of those type of people actually talk bad about people. It's just, I don't know. You just have to be a product of your life. You know what I'm saying? Hang around people just like you. That's what you usually, if I was a life coach, that would be the one thing that I would tell everybody. I would say, if you want to live the best life, is to find people that are just like yourself. All right. That just the best life is to find someone just like you. If you're a great person, and let's be honest, everybody know what lane you in. If you're a great person, find great people to be with. If you're a chaos agent, find chaos agents to be with. If you a low down, dirty, thieving, don't want nobody to do nothing in life, find them people to be with. You will be happy in those lanes. But when we start reaching and trying to get in other people's lanes and all that old shit, or want to be accepted by other people in these lanes, nothing but disappointment waiting for you there. Nothing but disappointment. Why would you want to be a great person and find yourself in a lane of dealing with snakes? Why would you want to be in that lane with them? You don't really. Now, snakes want to be in that lane up there, but they don't know how to get in that lane because they're too busy being snakes. They think that you got to be a snake to get there. I got a secret to tell everybody. It's going to be shocking, but you do not have to steal, rob, or be deceptive, or be a backstabber, or be a ruthless, a killer, and I don't mean that literally. I mean somebody that's just doing people wrong and dirty and nasty. You do not have to be that person to make money. Everybody, the majority of people who think people that have money all got it by being ruthless, nasty. Some people have it now, and it took them a lot longer to get it because they were not that person. Does that make sense to you? The reason why I see some people, I said it here on the show before. Oh, I got some sisters on here and some brothers on here that I know they're rich. They just haven't made the money yet. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that, right? Like, oh man, I got a friend on here. She rich. She just don't have a lot of money, but she's working on it. She know who she is. She working on it. And rich is not always, money. Rich is how you carry yourself, and rich is how you deal with your resources. Rich is when you help people out that will help you down the line. They're there for you, and they're gonna be there for you when you least expect it. That's a rich person. That's a rich person. Somebody asked me a long time ago, would you it's an unfair question. It's an unfair question, but they asked if you let me farm it the right way, because I don't want people on here thinking that it's a conceited type of a show today. I don't want that. I hope I'm encouraging some people, because a lot of times people don't like to hear things from people that have done some things in life. They think that you just started there and you haven't been through anything, and they think you're trying to flex, but it's not that. I've always looked at people who got some things in life. I listen to them more than I listen to anybody, because they're there. And I never think that they're there because they just woke up yesterday. I think that they're there because they've been through some shit, and they can help me know what's coming for me. They've already been there. They faced all those obstacles. They know how to do it again. See what I'm saying? So somebody asked, like, would you rather be rich, Wyatt, or would you rather have resources? And I always tell them I would rather have resources, because rich, you can run out of money. Resources, that's what makes you rich. I don't know if people know that or not. Rich is not something that you get to without resources, unless you hit a lottery or you a whirlwind of money or some shit like that. But rich starts with resources, and those resources have to be dependable. There's no way in hell I would exchange a dime. If someone said, would you, like, what was those questions back in the day? Crystal Power, what's up, sis? What were those questions back in the day? They would say, would you take $500,000, or would you go to dinner with Jay-Z or somebody like that, a billionaire or somebody? Okay, ask me if I would take $500,000 or a dinner with like Magic Johnson. You see what I'm saying? That's a legitimate question for a guy like me. Would I take $500,000, or would I take a meeting, a dinner with Magic Johnson? Depending on what I have to offer Magic Johnson, this is gonna sound like, oh, you full of shit. No, I might take the meeting with Magic Johnson. See what I'm saying? I don't mean dinner, a meeting, because it all depends on what I have to offer. Magic Johnson. Quick little thing that I want to tell all my entrepreneurs this. I'm going to tell us all. This is what I meant when I told you at the beginning of COVID, when this COVID thing is over, we're going to be ready to do our thing, and we need to just start with a clean slate. Here's something that a lot of people will never tell you. Build a company to sell it. Treat your company like you want to sell it. Start a company. Tanika, start your cake company, and don't make it where you're going to work in it every day. Don't the aspirations, and I'm just using her as an example. Build your company off of the intention of selling it. You'll treat it different. You'll keep it it's almost like buying a house. If you buy a house and you keep it and you know that you're building equity in it, you keep it sharp. Because when you take the prettiness out of your yard or out of your steps, or if you don't fix something, you understand you're tearing the value out of that piece of property, right? You're tearing it down. You're like, I got $100,000 worth of equity, but now I need a new this and I need a new that, and the house is only worth. I'll now only have $75,000 worth of equity, but I got a $10,000 fix up. So you mean to tell me you willing to lose 75? You willing to lose money instead of you putting 10,000 back in and making it back up to that $100,000 equity spot? You see what I'm saying? Sierra says, I'm just curious. Have you sold any of your companies? Yes, that's what I do. I've only done the only business that I still have that's me is my bonding company. Every company I've ever invested in, Sierra, are you familiar with Lids? Are you familiar with Lids that's in the mall? Well, I used to have a store that was a competitor of Lids, okay? And we were in malls throughout the I started out in Forest Fair Mall. Let me see, was that the first? No, the first store, I'm going to go back way before even the mall. My first store was right next door to Brenda. I don't know if y'all know Brenda, but she's a hair salon. She's a hairstylist. We started the same day on Coleraine Avenue. This dude rented me half the building, rented her half the building. I didn't even know this young lady. I didn't know her name is Darla. I'm sorry, I said Brenda. I was reading the comment. Darla, who had, the hair salon girl. We started on Coleraine Avenue at the same time. All I was a hat store. I sold hats and jerseys and little shit like that. And an opportunity came up for me to move up the street a year or two later up to Northgate Mall. When I went to Northgate Mall, I went into one of the darkest alley parts of the mall, and it wasn't a lot of opportunity there as far as foot traffic, but I took it. And what I did is I was competing against Hat World. It was called Hat World at the time. And what I did is I patterned myself after them. Now they're based out of Indiana. And what I did is I would just watch what they do, and I kept doing what they were doing, and I would add things like embroidery to hats, customizing the hats, doing all these things that I knew that when they left that store, they brought their hat down to our store and had it customized. So what did I do? I ended up being able to get an account, which was a very expensive account. It was with New Era, and you had to have a $25,000 minimum order to buy into New Era. That was back then. Okay. And I don't want to say lucky. It was just what I did. I was watching what Hat World was doing at that time, and they were buying, New Era hats were big. So what I did is I found a way to get a credit line with New Era Cap Company. So every hat that they brought in, every hat that Hat World brought in, Cincinnati Reds, whatever, the Bengals hats, whatever, out of town hats, every one of those hats I would match. I would bring in, because now I can sell it at the MSRP price. Hat World is not going to drop their price. It's a corporate store. The price is the price. I can cut the price by $5 and offer a service. So I already knew, being a competitor of theirs, I'm about to be a pain in their ass. So I'm going to every mall in the Midwest. That was my goal. My goal was to never be a competitor to the point where I'm just trying to steal their business. My goal was to be a competitor so they'll buy me out. I didn't want to walk. I didn't want to run a retail store my entire life. I know the objective is to do something. I'm the reason why they have embroidery machines in all their stores throughout the country. Now, that might not sound realistic to some of y'all, because some people don't think that we move like that, or we capable of making those type of moves. But yes, the reason why they have embroidery machines and do custom shit on their hats is because 20 years ago, a little bitty ass dude named Randall Wyatt was in their ass and taking their business. And I set myself up in a position where I'm not going to try to run you out of business, but I know y'all have a lot more capital than I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be a pain in the ass. And it got to the point where, since they do have more money, now they get with New Era Company and strategically try to cut me off so I can't buy the early order hats from the Cincinnati Reds, or I can't buy the early order hats from the Bengals. I couldn't do what they would do. They caught on in a couple years, but what they didn't understand was, I'm from down the way. I'm always going to figure out a way to win. All right, you can have better shit than me or whatever, better hats, better selection, all of that. But guess what? You don't do what I do. So even if they buy the hat from you, I'm still able to pick up some of that business. You see what I'm saying? I'm still able. So they knew what they had their hands dealt with, and they tried to do everything they possibly could to run me out. But once I seen that that was their goal, they hadn't had non-competes in the mall. So what I did is I rushed to get leases, specialty leases. Remember that word. We'll talk about that one day. I went and got specialty leases at Eastgate Mall, Northgate Mall, Forest Fair Mall, Tri-County Mall. I never opened the Kenwood store, because by the time I was ready to move into a Kenwood location, I was already getting offers for them to get me up out of it. I mean, they didn't want the competition anymore. And I even had a buddy of mine who did it on the Purdue campus, and I was supplying him all that. So basically what I did is I helped a brother open up a store in the Purdue campus, because that's where Hat World's corporate office is, in that area. So when they see you moving like that, they think you coming for them. Now you're on the radar where they think that they can get rid of you financially, buy you out. So strategically, I tell all my people, not just because you do want somebody to buy you out, but it's better for your company if you treat it like you're trying to sell it. What do people do when they're ready to put their home on the market? They repaint it. They make sure the grass is always cut. They want to make sure when they put that for sale sign in the grass that it's at its full capacity. It's it's lit up. There's not a busted light bulb. There's not a chipped step. There's painted. It looks presentable. You want it to be fresh because you want somebody to purchase it. And if you have that attitude when you start your business, you'll treat it like it's to be sold. Feel me? You ain't gonna try to. Who go trade their car in and not wash it before they trade it in? Who go trade their car in and don't vacuum and wash it? And you want to shine it up a little bit. You'll think it's worth more money, right? So that's my philosophy. So I tell everybody. I think Tanika may have said something about that too. Let me see something. Did she? She said that was the goal. Tanika says, I know, Darla. My Cincinnati hairstylist used to have a chair in her salon. We started the same day. We moved into a building. I didn't even know Darla, but we became cool. Ask her. Like, she'll be like, oh yeah, he had the little bitty old store. And yeah, I remember. Cause I'd always be like, hey, every morning. Cause she always kept a nice little sharp cut. You know what I'm saying? She's a good girl. She's a good lady. Good lady. And we just sat back and watched each other grind. She would be there late at night. She would, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, she stayed at that shop so late at night, and she would be there so early in the morning. And how I know is because I put the same work in. I treated. Okay, Tanika said that's the goal. Yes. I mean, make your pies, make your cakes, and make it where Publix or someone like that would want it to be their brand. Like, let them, maybe they're not going to, treat it like you'll treat it. Maybe they want it to be their branded pie with Publix on it or Kroger or something like that. And you sell them the recipe. No sense if you can make the money and you can, I just think that people need to start looking at these. We have to start looking at our businesses the right way. I think we need to get in business, form a business, and put it in a position to sell it. Thank you, Sierra. That's the truth. I can't even make anything up like that, to be honest with you, sis. That's exactly what happened. And what happened is Lids, which was a larger company than myself in Hat World, Lids came around after Hat World purchased me. Lids came around and purchased Hat World. That's why you see all these stores called Lids throughout the I don't know, I think the Midwest. I know there's a few down south, but I know that they're heavy in the Midwest. All right. And Hat World bought out some companies. Not only did they buy out companies like what we were doing, they were buying out like Cardboard Heroes, places that had jerseys. That's why you see these places called Lids that now sell jerseys, hats, and they wanted to be a one-stop shop for all of that. And for me, I just found it. I just needed a niche. Y'all got to understand, I come from a different mentality. I might not sell dope, but I know dope boys might need something while they out on the street hustling. So maybe I'm selling them gloves. Maybe, and I know that's a bad analogy, but if you got a food truck or we didn't have food trucks when I was a kid, but you had a cart that sold hot dogs and hamburgers and shit like that. You out in the cold. I might not sell hamburgers and hot dogs, but I know that cart needs something. You need me to run to the store for you and get you some more 7-Up or some Coca-Cola or whatever. I think I've been the type of person that I've always wanted to provide something that people needed versus wanted. Like, I've always wanted to fill a need. I've always wanted to be that person. Like, most, like, I think people, when they need something, a necessity, they'll spend whatever for it. Wants, you're limited. You put wants on layaway. You put wants on payment plans. You put wants on things that can get you later. And you don't necessarily have to have a want, but you need a need. You have to have a need. So I've always tried to be in that area. And yeah, so Sierra, hopefully you understood. That was the first acquisition that I've ever made when my stores got bought up. It was called Caps, CAPS. And you probably could look it up. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. You'll see, because when it's a public, now there are certain things that I signed off saying that I wouldn't talk about, like how much they paid, and they generally don't want you to discuss that type of stuff. And what I had to do, I got sued by every mall because I just walked away from the lease. I didn't fulfill the leases. I just kind of was bought out, and then I got sued because I didn't remain in those locations. When the buyout came, I let the company that bought me take on the responsibility of the leases that were left. Like I said, Kenwood, I never even opened the store. I was on a specialty lease for a year and a half and had never opened the store. So when that lawsuit came, it was 3 years of a specialty lease lawsuit. So I had to deal with it. It wasn't a problem, because what happens is when you're set up a certain way, you basically could show that you don't have a business anymore. Like I said, I can't say a lot of things that I really want to say. I'm just trying to put it out there a little bit so people can kind of put 2 and 2 together. But I just didn't own the business anymore. I was not the CEO of Caps anymore. And Caps was just a company that they went after, and there was nothing to go after. We were gone. I paid all my creditors out. Like I had a line of credit with New Era, I had a line of credit with Nike, I had a line of credit with people, and I didn't just do some shitty stuff, because what happens is you still have those are resources, like I told you. And the biggest thing that you can, the worst thing you can do in business is burn bridges with your resources. So I had established credit lines with these vendors, and some of them had $10,000, you know what I mean, $500, 10,000, this and this and that, and you got to pay it. I mean, you pay it, so you're clear with them. So if I wanted to start something to this day in 2025, they wouldn't say, well, Wyatt is a bad guy, we don't want to give him we don't want to extend him a line of credit. You just, you want to always keep your resources satisfied. That's a damn that, so look, I want to talk, can we talk a little bit about money? Y'all want to do that? Sierra, can I dedicate this one to you? Wait a minute, she said something. She said, did you sell the hospital gift shop business too? That was all in the same lines of the gift shop business all got sold as well, not through the caps thing. Generally what happens is, there's a long story for that too. Whenever the casinos are sold, or I don't even want to, not even sold all the time. Sometimes when they're put in a position where they're remanaged, a new management company comes in, because a lot of people don't know that you can own a casino, but yet they hire a management company to run it. So if Sierra owns Sierra Brooks Casino, downtown Cincinnati, let's say, she's not going to run it. Okay. She would hire a company. She might hire Wyatt Management, okay, to manage her casino. And whenever she does that, that management company is responsible for aligning all the leasing and they do all of that. Trash pickup, they do everything that your landlord would do in your building. Let's just keep it. So I was in a situation where I was dealing with a company with I can't think of his name. He owned the casino. Remember, Jack's used to be owned by Dan Gilbert. Okay. And when he sold the company, he sold to Hard Rock. Well, he sold to another company first, but let's just use Hard Rock as an example. When Hard Rock comes in, their management company comes in, and they just kind of nix-nay everybody. And depending on who they are, some of those companies, some of those hospitals, when they come in, they want to do in-house gift shop. They want to do in-house, like even the casino. They want to do in-house where they own the gift shop and they not contracted out. You got to understand, when I was in the gift shop business, Sierra, I owned that location. I didn't own the property because the hospitals owned it. But if a new owner come into a hospital or come into a casino, they have the opportunity. I mean, they have first rights. They can tell you, look, we have another company coming in, or we do self gift shop. We have our own gift shop. And when you sign your lease, you already know that they could move you at any time, or through, there's wording, there's verbiage that puts you in a position where, if something happens, you can be out of here. And that's not a real huge risk. It's something that you go in knowing. And the particular casino that I was in, when they sold the 6 casinos, they do in-house. That casino downtown Cincinnati called Hard Rock, they own that gift shop. That's not an independently ran gift shop. All right. The only thing that they may not own are the restaurants within the casino business. Like those restaurants down there, I don't think they own those restaurants. But things like gift shop that have their name on it, you got to understand, it's a difference between having a restaurant selling steaks and lobsters and food. There's a difference from them owning that versus something that they have their logo and prints and stuff like that on, because they want to be able to control what they give away. If I'm in the gift shop business at the casino, everything that they give away as a promotion out of that casino, like they might give a high roller a card, and that card might be worth $500. That card, if it's used in a casino gift shop that I have, then that $500 is $500 used towards what we do. You know, my business, that's a $500 piece of business. For the casino, that's $500. They're giving away their own product. It's not costing them $500. When they spend that $500 with me, that valued $500 card is a true $500 card. Unlike if they own the gift shop, it's not a $500 card. They're giving away probably $150 worth of merchandise versus $500. With me, it's a straight $500. I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. So what happened is when we got out of that business, they bought us out because they brought in their own in-house gift shop. See what I'm saying? If they would have brought a competitor in or someone else in, they would have had to either buy me out or wait for me to leave out of my contract. But I was okay. It was a great thing. I mean, God blesses us in different ways. The fact that it was a casino-owned location and they want to make it a Hard Rock or Argosy, if they want to make it their gift shop, there's a price to pay for that. You're basically buying me out for me to go away. So there's some things I want to talk about on that. Or can we stay on this? Can we stay on this for a minute? Because I want to let y'all know we had a conversation the other day, and I was like, I want to talk about that one day. I want to talk about that. We were talking about people wearing expensive clothes and people wearing brands and all that. It's probably been a month and a half since we had that conversation. And I said something about, I think we miss a lot, meaning our community, when we have celebrities, Jay-Z, LeBron James. These guys could move the needle for a small company, small brand company. They can move the needle like you've never seen before. If LeBron James wore a Jericho Vaughn, that sounds like a brand, don't it? If LeBron James won a Jericho Vaughn t-shirt, do you know how many people in this country would want a Jericho Vaughn t-shirt? If I don't know, give me another story. If Jamar Chase wore a Sierra Brooks hat, do you know how many people would wear Sierra Brooks hats? But see, what happens is these guys, and I hate to say it, they're not utilizing their value like I think. This is just my personal opinion. They're not utilizing their value the way it does, doesn't it, Sierra? Jericho Vaughn sounds like a luxury brand. It really does. It does. But they're not utilizing their value the way that I think that, and this isn't fair. It's not even fair to them. I'm just giving you an idea of what I see here. And I don't think anybody's talking about it, so I'm going to be the one to say it. If LeBron James was wearing a Sierra Brooks would be trying to take off her clothing brand. It would fly off the shelves, okay? It would fly off the shelves because LeBron James is a big name. If Mary J. Blige was wearing Sierra Brooks or Jericho Vaughn, it would fly off the shelves. People would know what it is, okay? We don't utilize our celebrity to build businesses. What we do is our celebrity goes towards building other brands and building businesses and makes us more of a consumer than a brand builder ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is I'll use 50 Cent as an example, okay? I'm going to show you this clip. Let me see if I can find the clip real fast, if you guys don't mind. It's like, bro, this has been sitting on deck for a long time. And I'm glad we're talking about something like this because now I can maybe, what is it, 50 Cent? Y'all remember vitamin water? Remember, 50 made a lot of money in that brand called Vitamin Water? Let's see if I have that clip still. Yeah, here it is right here. I want you guys to hear this clip. This is one of the partners, one of the guys that used to run with 50 Cent a lot. And he's talking about how vitamin water took off. There's something to be said about this. All right, because like Nike would give these guys a ton of money and then to stop them from doing deals like with Vitamin Water, with some of the smaller companies. Vitamin Water did not start out this huge company. Matter of fact, they didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot of capital, to be honest with you. They were a small company like you and I. They started out like us. And I actually like it too, Jenny. I love the there's a red, I can't think of what it's called. Put me on with that red, Jenny. Tell me what that is. But that vitamin water, I do like vitamin water. Watch this clip, and then I want to make something of it. You guys tell me what you think. Check it out.
Vitamin water?
Oh, 50's part of vitamin water? Not really, but break it down.
Everybody knows 50 made a bunch of money on vitamin water, right? What nobody knows is that
he invested.
Not even that. Okay. Vitamin water, they're from Queens.
Oh yeah, I did hear this.
The guys from Queens. Okay. So originally, like they starting the company, they don't really have enough money to really so to offer these celebrities like contracts, but they know that celebrities is a way to kind of grow the brand. Right. So, and I don't want to get the numbers wrong. I don't want to offend anybody, but they went to a few people at first. One of the people being Ron Artest. They offered Ron Artest the same deal they offered 50 Cent. Ron Artest wanted a couple $100,000 in cash. They didn't have a couple $100,000 in cash. They said, look, we can't pay you a couple $100,000 in cash, but we can give you equity. Ron Artest ain't understand it, he ain't believe in it, and passed on it. 50 Cent came, took the same deal, but took equity. Fast forward 18 months later,
Coca-Cola went and bought it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we haven't truly learned how to leverage and really get into the idea of equity enough in our culture, because we want to have 100% ownership instead of a percentage of something that can 10x 100%, right? And so the difference is, it's like if I build a company and I'm like, all right, by myself, I can get it to do, let's say, $1 million a year, right? But let's say if I give away 50% of it, I can get it to do $10 million a year. You understand me? So what would be a better
I don't
thing?
understand. I don't understand. Say that again.
I own 100% of a company that's making
you said get away that come. Oh, okay. I thought you meant give away money.
50% of the equity in it to a partner. Yeah. Let's say Troy, Rashad, y'all a group. I say y'all gonna help me market. Y'all gonna help me with the branding.
So
y'all help me with distribution,
okay,
production, the whole nine. Right. So instead of me just owning 100% of $1 million, I own 50% of $10 million. So we haven't learned how to build something and then leverage the equity of it. You understand me? By owning a percentage of it. Right. Because we haven't historically had nothing, we think we need all of it, right? To feel like owners instead of learning the actual science of business. Right. Most people, they build a company and their whole idea is, how can I give away a part of this company? Right, so that it's worth a certain amount so that they can do more. Because by yourself, you can only do so much. So it's really just reframing the way we go about business. Most people build businesses to sell them.
That's right.
You understand me? And so when you're doing that, you're building a framework completely different rather than saying, how can I own this? Now, there's generational wealth where you build certain companies you want to have in the family forever, right? And we know the Chase Banks, we know the Colgates, we know, certain families who've had businesses for 100+ years that they've been able to pass down in their family, and we use those as household products today. So there is, value in maintaining companies within, the family, but there's also value in giving away equity so that you can grow that company, so that it can become bigger and it become a household name.
And even the companies that remained, like Walmart, right? In a way, they still gave up some equity because it's a publicly traded company. So they take the company to the stock market. That means everybody owns a part of it. So that's what, like he said, it's like, when you're not used to having something, you just hoard it. Because, and rightfully so, because it's like, for years, we always had stuff taken away from us. You look at Black Wall Street, you look at Freeman's Bank, you look at so much stuff. Anytime that we had something, they took it away from us. So psychologically, we still look at it like a hoarder. Like, even with the information, it's like, but that's how we changed the game, where it's like,
that's yours.
Tiger Woods teaching somebody how to hit a golf ball doesn't affect him. It doesn't make him less of a golfer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me sharing information with you doesn't actually hurt me at all.
That's exactly how I feel. Me sharing information and telling you certain things, it does not hurt me at all. And I mean, when people say we don't talk about these things, yes, we do. Look at that. See what I'm saying? That video was out. I don't know how long it's been out. I don't even remember. I just knew that it was familiar with how I think and how I do things. So I thought I would burn it and let you guys show it. I don't know how old that video is, but we do have these conversations. But what we don't have is we don't have a lot of people paying attention to them. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like having a whole bunch of something, and it's not going to last long if people don't pay attention to it. I can only say what I say every day. I started out my show talking and doing them things. Look what we're talking about now. Not today, but in the past. I know people probably love to have, Sierra's one of them. I'll be honest with you. I just know off the top of my head, Sierra's one of them. She loves to have these talks about equity, business, how to get into things. I know that. But I can't do that every day because it's going to be boring for people because that's not what they're looking for. However, let's get back to the point. It doesn't cost me a dime to tell you my stories, to tell you what I've done, to lead people in these directions, to be that bridge. It's just that I think that's the most frustrating part for me. If you've been here and you know, the most frustrating part for someone like me is to know that there's information out there. There's ways for us to do it. We can succeed at it. And I think the most frustrating thing that I hear, it comes from the people that have never tried it. It comes from the people who the only way they're involved in these conversations is to be on that negative end and to talk about everything under the sun, but how to do it. They'll tell you why you can't do it. And they don't even know because they've never tried it. They'll tell you all the obstacles that are in the way, but they don't know because they've never faced those obstacles. They usually hearing it from third party. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me. That's what makes it crazy for me. Is because it's almost like telling a woman, another lady who's never been married, never been in a long-term relationship, never really had anything in her life that could match what you have, and that's your advisor. That's who you gonna get. A girl, I would never get married. I'd never get married. These men out here ain't shit. But wait a minute. Maybe the choice of man that you have ain't shit. Maybe the choices that you made in life made you feel that you couldn't succeed at getting married. A man ain't shit. Maybe it's where you find your man. It's a whole lot of factors there. But your factors may be different than her factors. So why pay attention to somebody that ain't never done it before? And it seems to me, I have never heard anybody that's been successful in life tell people, you can't do it. You can't do it. Let me back up just a little bit. I've heard people say, because I've been one to say it, bro, get away from me. You wasting my time. Get away from me because you wasting my time. You can't just come when it's convenient for you. If you're not going to put the work in from start A to Z, just get away from me. This is not meant for you. You're not built for entrepreneurship. You're not built to be, you're not built for it. Okay. I've said that to people before because they were wasting my time. Had a great presentation at the beginning, sold me on how they were bound, sold me on how they were, committed and all that old shit. And come to find out, they want you to work harder for their projects. This is your project. This is what you like to do. It's not my thing. I don't cut hair. I help a dude open a barbershop. Barbers used to call me and say, hey, Wyatt, can you come down here and let us in? Such and such ain't here yet, man. I'm like, what? Yeah, man, I don't cut hair. I helped you open a barbershop. Yeah, this big old spiel and all that old shit. I don't cut hair, bro. Stop. Now I'm down there doing your job. I'm putting more work in. Y'all remember that story I told you? And I told you that the young brother that actually worked in the barbershop happened to be a little bit more committed than the actual guy. Remember that? I told you guys about that like 2-3 years, maybe 3 years ago. Like, yeah, man, I helped a dude that I thought he was cool. He committed to, showed me a little small business plan, the whole nine. He needed XYZ amount to get started. Already had the business lined up. The older guy who owned the barbershop was retiring, getting out of the business, and was going to allow him to take over the lease. And he had the whole shit set up. It was a beautiful presentation. And he said, I'm going to go in, I'm going to repaint. This is what I need the money for. And this is the stab. We're going to get new chairs. I'm like, okay, I feel it. Sounds good. Let's get it. You got me. Let's make it happen. We get it, man. It wasn't 6 months. He already sitting back like he didn't made it. You see what I'm saying? Like he's already made it. And you got 6 people that barbers are independent. Like I know y'all know that, but barbers just rent chairs from you. None of them had keys to the building or anything. So this guy wouldn't give them a key to be able to come and go how they wanted to come and go. And I thought that was a little odd. And I'm not even in the barber business. How you gonna have a guy not have a key so he can go in and maybe cut hair after hours? I asked him that question. He was like, nah, man, that ain't how this business works. I said, well, I can't tell you how to run the business, man. I just invested. 6 months later, man, he's already blowing up out of there, doing shit, doing things that were not appropriate, the whole 9. And the one little brother, the youngest guy out of all of them, came and talked to me on the side. And said, he ain't gonna be here long. He's not gonna be here long, but I got it. I'll pay whatever, because the young guy thought I was the landlord. He thought I owned the building. It was none of their business of what my capacity was in the business. We didn't share that. He thought when I came through or whatever, I was the landlord. I was not the landlord. I was just an investor in the business. So he came to me and was like, look, man, he didn't know who he was talking to. He just came at me like, he ain't gonna be here long. Can I get this lease? Can I take over the lease? Can I pay you for the? And then he was talking to me as if he was just trying to be the next guy, and he didn't know who he was talking about. He even started saying things like, man, that's me out there shoveling the snow. I'm out there shoveling the snow for the customers so they'll have somewhere to park. I'm listening to this young dude talk about the things he was doing that the owner wasn't doing. And I'm saying to myself, bro, yeah, and then knowing the guy that I know who I invested in, he would say things to me like, nah, you don't need to hire nobody, man, to get that snow up, or you don't have to do this and do that. And I got somebody doing it already. And he was using the young dude. And when I found out the young guy was doing all the work, and he was putting the sweat equity in, and he was building that business himself. And I bought the other guy out, and I let the young guy get in there, and he's still there to this day. It's been 12 years. I'm not going to say his name now. If he's watching the show, or if he want to call me, or if he feel comfortable with me telling you, but him and I had this understanding that we're not going to talk about it because the guy who left didn't feel good about it. You feel me? He didn't feel good about it. So I don't want no problems, unnecessary problems. But that's how things go. Just match energy. Find yourself around people that are just like you, and watch how the outcomes are different. You put yourself around hard workers. Oh my God. Hard workers don't have time to bitch and complain. I'm talking about people that really want to get what they going after. They don't bitch and complain. The people that bitch and complain are the people that are doing shit that they really don't want to be doing. And in that video, I remember him saying, he said exactly what I was saying, and that was, most people build a business to sell it. That is the truth. Now, not us. I'll be honest with you. The majority of us that build businesses do not have that concept of business. We're building a business because we want to be the boss. And I don't think we have the same concept that most people have. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'll use Wyatt Live in this network as an example. One of the reasons why I don't want to put forth a lot of effort into it is because I know what I would do. I would want to build it up to sell it. Well, I am not in a space where I feel like I'm good enough. Look, I know a good product. Okay, I know a good product. I'm not a good product. I am this for us. I'm not a national product. I'm not something that CNN, Fox, MSNBC. I'm not that. I understand it. So why waste my time trying to build this network build the value up so I can sell it. Why would I do that? I know a winner. I'm not a loser, but I'm not a winner in this space. That make any sense to anybody? Like, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I'm at the retirement, almost at that retirement age. I am doing this because I enjoy it. I'm not doing, if I was 25 years younger, I'd be building this thing. You see different people coming on here. I'd be interviewing. I'd probably be making some reels. I'd probably be doing a lot of the shit that Dropping them talk about. See what I'm saying? I would probably be doing all of that. That's the only reason why I would want to do this, is so some company would come around and buy me out. That's the only reason why I would do it. Let's go to the phone lines real fast. It's a little bit less of me. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Mr. Wyatt.
CK, what's good, bro?
How you doing, man?
I'm holding on. What's good with you?
Man, it's doing good, man. It's a great. Hold on, damn. It's the Facebook part is still on. Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. Boom, back out of that. There we go. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. I'm sorry. Your Facebook background was going in, so I was talking to you and listening to you at the same time. A freaking technology mastermind.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm so proud of yesterday. Thank you for helping me through that crisis. I was bragging to you about I had the best weekend of my life. As I drove into work, my alternator went out in the employee parking lot, sir.
Okay.
So I was blocking up everything and everybody from coming to work. I instantly became the #1 enemy at my job with over 1,000 people. So they was after my ass. They said, that's the nigga made me late for work.
Okay. Well, I don't know if they were saying that, but okay.
I mean, they were chasing me. You know, I wasn't sticking around. I didn't want to get my ass whooped. You know, we could fight, but we can't fight 1,000 people, me or you. And I just want you to understand, as good as things could be, it changes real bad quickly. So I had the greatest weekend of my life, followed by a $400 alternator problem, sir.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I hear you.
So I was telling you at the time of my demise yesterday that I have found that queen and I'm treating her like love. The way you told us grown ass men how to treat a woman on your platform, Wyatt. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, that's important. You're doing that for yourself, not for me, obviously, but it's important that listen, man, I got a clip that I want you to watch when you and I hang up. It's a lady who says to this guy who's interviewing her, and I believe I put this in the Wyatt Live Messenger group, okay? It's a sister, black lady, get out of a Bentley, okay? And she says to the interviewer, me getting married made me a millionaire.
Damn.
Yeah, I want you to see it because it's very important. I love my people when we watch videos and we watch things like this, because basically it was talking about what we've been talking about the last few days, and that was it was how I feel personally that a man that marries a woman, he goes harder because it's a unit at that point. That's how I feel. Like, it's me personally. I don't know how people relationships are, but if I fail, then I failed my entire unit. I failed. My wife is my motivation. You see what I'm saying? Like, she is. I don't really need that motivation, but it absolutely helps to know that if I fail or I don't accomplish something, she suffers with me. You feel what I'm saying?
Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper, Wyatt, Randall.
Let's try. Go ahead.
Okay, last Tuesday you was speaking on your platform about listen, N-word. You didn't use that word, but that's how I took it. You said you could be as successful as you want to be, but you ain't no king without no queen. And when you told me that, it burned my ears. Because there was no way around it. That was not a debate. That was not a fight. Okay. That was a fact.
Yeah, I think
you see what I mean? And you was listening to a king. A king was telling you that. A king from down the way, Laura Holmes. You hear me?
Okay.
He telling you he ain't no king without her. So what is you, CK? Talking about you a Cincinnati King. Well, where's CQ then? Where's CQ? You ain't no Cincinnati King without no claim. Your thoughts, Wyatt?
You know what? I can't speak on that, to be honest with you, bro. I can only say that I think it's important that men have balance in life. A lot of men tend to think that, look, I got to just break it down the right way. The video that I'm going to show you is going to explain what I'm maybe a little bit different than how I'm explaining it to you now. I personally believe that getting married and being in business and things of that nature are very relevant to how successful you are. That's just me. Okay. Because but you have to marry the right person. I know that sounds like very obvious, but it's really like you can get married to somebody that actually loves you, but they're afraid of you being too successful. Because success for some people is a threatening thing. It's almost like a woman that loves you to death, but she's afraid that if you flourish and blow up, if you're married to the wrong person, because she really shouldn't feel this way, and you shouldn't put her in a position that she feels that way. Some women, it could go both ways, but some women believe if you're too successful, CK, that she's competing against the world.
Yes, and she is at times. She is right at times, but some men, she's not. You're right.
And like my wife and I have this thing where we do the dates now. You know, we do the date nights where we have our set situations, and it's like, wait a minute, you know what? You know, you're not competing against anybody. First of all, we started all at the same time. I mean, like, she's who I starved with. Okay, we're talking Little Caesars. We've been together since the days of $5 hot and readies. All right, so it ain't like that. She's, you know, she know.
That's how far you and your heart go back, all the way back there.
Yeah, we go all the way back to hot and readies.
Oh, I love that. That's
I don't know if people know what the hot and readies are, but and a lot of people weren't here when I used to talk. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me get my thing. A lot of people weren't here at the beginning, so they don't understand. You know that my wife and I, like, when you see me take a picture with her and we sitting at dinner, I always say this when we're in Chicago or wherever we are. If we're at a nice dinner, let me see. I don't even think I have a picture of it, but I always say things like, "I'm sitting here at dinner with the one I starved with." You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's who I started with, and that's who I starved with. We starved together. So we used to get these hot and readies back when we were young. You know, we would get a hot and ready. It was a $5 large pizza from Little Caesars. You see what I'm saying? And I mean,
that's late 90s. I remember.
Yeah. $5 hot and ready, bro. That's what it was called. I think they're about $6 to $7 now. But all right, back in my day,
they ain't went up that much.
They didn't go up that much. However, back in our day, they were $5 for a large pepperoni pizza, and we would eat it for lunch, dinner, and wake up. And I think we would probably eat leftovers if we had leftovers. But we probably ate hot and readies 3 times.
That's Mary J. Blige right there. That's real love. Y'all was talking. Eating hot and ready 3 times a meal and y'all together to this day? Oh my God, what a love story.
Well, I don't know about
Come on now.
Mary J,
but you have to understand, when people hear this, the women on your platform have resentment because they're not that woman. The men that hear your story, they want a wife like yours. When we hear you talk about Livingston talk about his wife, and we hear Randall talk about his wife, we want women like that. We don't want your women, but the women that hear that are bitter. Because they know they can't never. They don't even. They can't get a nigga like you. That's how they feel. So they start hating your wife. This is why the black violence is so high in the community, because of your love story going back to hot and ready.
Okay, boy, you put a whole lot into that. But
they resent it. They resent your happiness, sir. Especially your wife.
Well, let me ask you something. The woman that you're with right now, do you think she resents a story like that? Do you think she resents not being in a relationship like that?
No, she's of your wife's cloth. No, she's a registered. She's a wifey. My point, so wifeys they don't resent it. These are ratchets that resent wifey material.
But she's not a wife yet, right?
No. She's never been married. I have.
Okay, so I doubt that she she probably doesn't resent it. She's probably working towards that. Maybe you're the guy.
Yes.
I don't know, but
Yes.
I don't think it's
The
fair.
catalyst. The word is catalyst.
Okay, I don't think it's fair that we say that a lot of women are resenting. You know, I don't think it's fair to say that they resent it. Maybe some of the
Look at the comments, Wyatt. They resent me, and all I do is pray for you and wish you success and pray for your family to be a doctor, medical daughter. So don't tell me they don't have resentment. So what the fuck is you mad for if I'm telling him I want your daughter to be a doctor for? So that's resentment, nigga. What is you talking about?
No, I hear you.
You saying they don't resent me? And they mad at me for giving you props, for being a good dad and a good husband?
Bro,
that's resentment.
Bro,
they wish you was a deadbeat.
Bro, I'm not mad at you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, I just
wish your daughter had 3 baby daddies. That would make them happy. That would put a smile on their face.
Right. See, I know, but you got to consider, like what I talked about earlier today is I generally try to surround myself around people that are like me, and those that are not like me, I really don't let them bother me with their comments or their statements. You feel what I'm saying? I generally don't let that happen. Now there is a type of person that can get under my skin, and that is people that just they don't necessarily want to challenge what you say. They want to make it difficult for you to say what you say.
And as long as I'm breathing and I'm not dead, I'm going to be on your platform thanking you for changing my life. That's what the motherfuckers can't handle, because they want me not to be. They want black people not to thank another grown man for helping them be a real man. So they want me to, remember, they always call you and say, well, he be derailing you. What? No, I'm going to keep on praising him for making me become better, because I know what it feels to die. I know what it feels to be back. So now that I'm back, I appreciate everything. So if I got to get free therapy for Wyatt, he still ain't gave me that cash app so I can throw him a few dollars. That's how much of a man he is. He ain't even threw me the cash app I asked for. He's a good guy. Let them keep hating. Let them keep throwing the top comments. They can't speak like me. They're not eloquent. They don't like black people like me. I love them. Wyatt love them. It's already facts. I love your platform. Thank you for making me good. I'm going to Atlanta to that wedding. Even if I don't get married, she going to be my lady. You hear me? And I'm going to treat her like a queen. We ain't got to get married, but it's going to be love.
Forever, my lady. Sound like you.
Yeah, it is Jodeci. Yeah, Jodeci.
There you go, bro. All right, CK, I appreciate you reaching
out. Thank you, man. Pull it over, and I'm going to listen to that beat. You said listen to it after you out, bro.
Quick question for you. Is this your Rolls Royce?
I'm going to play it right now, matter of fact. As soon as you
Thank you, man. Thank you. Right, God bless the family prayers.
I'm gone. Same to you, brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for engaging, right. CK. Yeah, okay. Well, CK spun it a little bit. He's changed the mood a little bit, but it's all good. I was getting there anyway, because I know yesterday we had some relationship talks. I seen my boy Fame Rosting on here and said there, and all of a sudden here we are on relationship talks. Fame says, Wyatt, why does CK sound earlier eerily similar to what I said? I'm sorry, the screen is moving. My bad. I'm doing everything at the same time, y'all. Screen boarding and everything, so bear with me a little bit. Similar to what I've said about a few of the members of your family audience. I told you they were Jags, but you know what he meant. Okay. Fame. Tanika says, Wyatt, don't agree with a fool. You know what, Tanika? Believe it or not, you may not be that person, but there are people that don't want to see you, and they don't want to see you successful. They don't want to see you happy. And anybody that will support your happiness, people will start digging at them. That's called shaming people. When people don't want other people to be happy for you or brag on you or something like that, there are people out here that if they can't tear you down to your face, they'll tear you down through your supporters. That's a weak person. The easiest thing, because, you know, supporters are never as strong as the person themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Who has your back stronger than yourself? Nobody. The easiest person to talk shit about you, Tanika, is somebody that don't even know you, or they like your cake. Tanika, you could put a crazy mad ass pumpkin pie cake or some pumpkin pie out, or some type of upside down pineapple upside down cake. It could be the best cake they've ever had in their life. If they want to attack you, they're not going to come through you to attack you. They're going to use somebody that likes your cakes too. Oh yeah, she got this dope ass cake, but her house dirty. I don't know. It'd be shit like that, Tanika. It'd be things like that. And now people want to start, going into some other stuff. Oh, I heard. And I say they attack you through your supporters. That's how you do it. The people that don't like me in the city of Cincinnati, and there's a few, okay? They never come over here and tell me that they don't like me. Who do they go to, y'all? They go to the people that support the show. They hit up Twin. They tell Twin he ain't shit. They tell Twin that him and I shouldn't be. They use people that appreciate what we do over here. They try to make them people look like they less than. And they take their credibility away. Look, man, the best way that you take somebody out is you take their cheering section out first. All right? It's like a Bud Crawford fan. We watched boxing over the weekend, right? We watched boxing over the weekend. There was 20,000 Mexicans, 20,000 Latino fans in the building, 1,500 Bud Crawford fans in the building. What do? At the press conference, you put their asses over in the corner. You put them in a quiet corner so they can't cheer when your man stand on the stage for the weigh-in. You separate them. You keep them distance. You make them look like outcasts. You make them look like they don't know shit. You discredit them. You make them look like they ain't got nothing to offer nobody. Same thing happens to us in life. Think about it. I hear more shit. Think about it, man. Ross says, no, they tell Lincoln. Okay. Think about it. If all I'm going to do every day is listen about how white people are, instead of listening to how my black ass can get paid or my black ass can do something to avoid. If I have to be reminded of how fucked up shit is every day, you know what I'm saying? You don't want anything good for me. Can I say that to be fair? Because I know some of y'all gonna take some of the things that I say. Wyatt was going in on the radio. He was talking. He was hating on the man. He's jealous. All this shit. All I'm saying to you is, if I have to be reminded of how shit is fucked up out here every day, y'all got to talk about white people every day. It tells me you don't really want shit for black people. Because what white people doing and how they moving and how they don't like you and they made it tough for you hearing this and the slave ships and all that old shit, that ain't got shit to do with how I'm going to get this dollar tomorrow, how I'm going to get this resource tomorrow, how we going to make something happen and clap today. It ain't got nothing to do with it. That just means you stuck in a way of wanting to know some shit. You want to stay in that chaotic area because you're comfortable there. That might be the only thing you know. Shit, kindergarten better than that. What grade have you ever went into where they teach you the same thing every day? And then when you graduate to the next grade, there it is standing there again, waiting to be taught all over again by maybe a different teacher. I don't know. I don't sit stagnant. I try not to sit stagnant. I try not to sit stagnant in life, because when you do that, the mind is the strong, and that's what that's the one we need to exercise the most. If you keep your mind stagnant, if you let it sit dormant, it'll stay knowing what it knows. That's it. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Excuse me.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Energetic Etzel.
Hey, Etzel. Good afternoon to you, brother. How you doing today?
I'm pleasant per usual. I kind of caught the end of the podcast.
Okay, sorry about that.
Actively. There was something about boss talk being whatever. Y'all were talking about bosses or whatever.
Bosses. I don't think I used that term.
Or financial talk.
Okay, we might have been talking a little bit about some business, a little bit of business over here. Was you not listening? You weren't on the show yet?
Nah, not to be that active. No, I wasn't. But I just want to say this: that whenever you talk about something like that, I always it even just came out again. Because Dame Dash, he bodied DJ Envy so bad on the Breakfast Club with that Boss Talk stuff.
Yeah.
Remember that from a few years ago?
Yeah. Are you talking about the new clip that just came out with him in the white suit?
Yeah. I was talking about the original clip from way back when, a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember
where he was telling him, like, you ain't no boss. He's like, you can't get your son here. You can just talk to somebody to get him one. He's like, the boss can get his son a job here whenever he wants.
Yeah.
And that went over so many people's heads that Dame Dash was clowned for that.
Right. And that's what happened.
That's that one. It was one of those situations where people were so far behind that they thought they were ahead.
Okay.
They didn't get they wasn't getting the conversation.
Right.
And so there's another one, I guess, recently where DJ Envy talks the same thing, and I just want to remind you, Dame Dash got that directly from the book. You can write it down and look it up yourself. He got it from the book. It's called Dynasties. The wealth.
When you say, hold on, fame, because I don't want people to get lost. I like this. I like what you're saying. Are you saying his attitude and the way he the way he goes about how he carries his day?
What he was talking about, yes.
Okay.
What he was, the way he's going about, quote unquote, business of being a boss and whatnot. He got it from the book. It's from David Landis, Landes. It's called Dynasties. I forget the subtitle. The wealth and misfortunes of America's or the world's premier families, richest families. The Fords, the Toyota family, the Lamborghini family, the Rockefeller family, Rothschild family. Is broken down into sections like goods and textiles, automotive family, and I think the other one was like clothing.
Right.
It might have been, I forgot the other family, but basically what happened was the board of directors wanted to push out Henry Ford.
Okay.
And bring in Lee Iacocca. And Henry Ford said, hell no, because before we know it, this will be called the Iacocca Motor Company. So what did he do? Yeah, exactly. So what did he do? Didn't hire, did exactly what Dame Dash was talking about. He hired his son to replace him.
Right.
And that's how it remained Ford. It's a hell of a story of saying, I run it, I own this mother. You know what I'm saying? I own this mother, not y'all.
I've actually read the book. Lee Iacocca actually became the CEO of Chrysler, and they wanted him to take over Ford. Okay,
first, exactly.
Yeah, and then he ended up with Chrysler, but he didn't do Chrysler bad. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He made some adjustments. He made some purchases. He had a lot to do with the transaction. That. I don't know if people know this, but Chrysler owns Mercedes-Benz, and he had a lot to do with that alignment well before it actually happened. But go ahead.
So the boss talk, because he did that for Chrysler, for somebody else. He didn't do it for himself, his own Lee Iacocca Motor Company, like Ford did for his company.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what. So anytime people talk about that, I always go back to that subject on the Breakfast Club. Like, y'all was so lost to what Dame Dash was saying that you had no idea he was spitting bars.
Yes, he was. But can I say something about that? And then I promise you can finish it up, because I love this type of conversation.
Absolutely.
This is a great topic. I think the problem with Dame Dash is he's
an asshole.
His delivery, like what we were talking about yesterday. His delivery
he's a complete asshole.
He's very abrasive. Okay, so you have to have thick skin to appreciate him if he's talking to you. You probably got to have a different sense of how things are, how the information is transferred if he's not talking to you. But what he was saying to the Breakfast Club people made a whole lot of sense. But what hurt him the most is his own problems and his own financial situation that he ran into, that any millionaire could fall into. He ran into a lot of money early in life. So he made a pattern of bad decisions. When you get money, the way you lose money at that level is government. Taxes and things of that nature will kill you. You can get through child support. You can get through all those things. But if you get down on your taxes, if you get down on things like that, that'll wipe you up out of here. Okay, it really was. Plus, he burned all his resources. And it wasn't that he did the resources bad. Unfortunately, he had a business partner that took all those resources and they pretty much turned their backs on Dame Dash. You see what I'm saying? The business partners and the resources all went with the other partner being Jay-Z. Jay-Z was more valuable.
Hold on. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about this. Jay-Z was more valuable to carry the brand than Dame
That's
Dash.
what I was going to say. Exactly.
Yeah, see, he was exactly what I'm trying to say. What LeBron and them should be for smaller businesses and our Jericho Vons and our, you know what I mean? That type of brand. Those guys could really move the needle if LeBron James was the spokesperson for Fame Rothstein sports betting. You see what I'm saying? That's how you build what we trying to build as a people. That celebrity should be anchoring what we need to do. But the problem is these guys don't look at it that way. They look at it like, I want the $250,000 contract from Nike or the $6 million from. I'm not in business to try to build your business. It's not that it can't be done, Fame. It's we don't have the people in place that's willing to make the sacrifice and the commitment. When you look at Dame Dash and you look at Jay-Z, they did it, but they did it for them, for their own. They did it for themselves. They did Rockefeller clothing and all that shit as their thing. They didn't say, hey, Fame, you got a clothing company, we'll promote it, cut us in on the equity. And now we got 3 different companies here. Fame has a betting show and got something going, and you got a clothing company. They got the recording thing, and they got some equity in your company. And now we got this mall of business. They don't do that. See what I'm saying? And that's what we're missing. We're the celebrities. We're the athletes. We're the damn trending. We're the trend. We're the thing. Well, we used to be. With social media out, that's why you got 15, 16-year-old little white kids and black kids like Kai Cenat. These guys are multimillionaires using the internet. And we have missed the mark. We've missed the mark. You see what I'm saying? We had the O.J. Simpsons all the way back to those days that could have moved the needle, brought the money to our communities, and made us more powerful economically. Instead, we got our leaders out here talking about white folks ain't putting us in the equity position, and we are the equity. We are the fucking equity, and we got more people out here complaining and bitching about what somebody not putting us in space for, when in fact we are the space. Dame Dash and them showed you that with Rockefeller clothing.
Right.
Go ahead, Fame.
Like that white lady professor said that, without if America was all white people, there would be no culture here.
Probably not.
You know what I'm saying? Real quick, I heard Ron at the top of the show. I thought some guy talked about him on the bus, talking about somebody got beat by some kids and stripped naked, but then I forgot there was a video of somebody else doing that. But
there was a guy in the city of Cincinnati that I seen a video. Someone sent it in the Wildlife Messenger group. There was a guy, I think that might have been up in Clifton though. I don't really get into it like that, but I did see a guy getting beat on and he was naked. I
remember Ron, recently saying about how he got beat down.
It wasn't
by some youngins.
That was on the square. Ron's incident was on the square.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I also hear him talking about Bitcoin. I just want to remind y'all that a little more than a year, probably about 14 months ago, I told y'all about a defense stock called Kratos that was $19.58 when I told you about it.
Okay.
It's over $76 now.
Did you put
it's over $6 a share. Wyatt, listen, give me another 2 months. I'm going to call you and ask for you, the realtor down there on that golf course you live on.
Hey,
you
bro.
Me?
Hey, I got a neighbor 3 doors down. It's for sale.
What are you talking?
Well, you have to. I'd rather not say on the air, but I know what he's selling it for.
I want everybody to know where we about to be living in. We about to floss on this because I'm about to go. Because listen, we're gonna drive up and down 95 in our spaceships if this continues for another month. You understand me? I'm gonna get a spaceship ride right with you.
Tell us the name of it again. Of what's the
Kratos? Kratos.
Kratos. Okay.
It's a defense stock. And lastly, just to, like I said, I was going to, pick back up on Bud Crawford yesterday because I had to go.
Okay.
But basically, like I told you, Dude is a he, put like this. You have to be at least a casual boxing fan to know who he is. If you don't know who, if you're not at least a casual, you won't know who he is. Unlike these other guys, I mean, because you did exactly what I said you would do, was try to find the outlier, try to find, the person with 6 fingers and 6 toes, and try to exploit that. Yes, Roy Jones didn't win gold, but that's why we loved him, because we watched on TV him get the worst jobbing in Olympic history. And watch that 19-year-old boy cry in the ring. And, even Fame, as a 13-year-old kid, I was sitting there watching.
But Fame, that's not the point.
Did him crazy.
They did, but that's not the point that we were making. It was more of, you said that these guys had to be more flamboyant to be successful in boxing. And I don't think that's
successful. Yeah, successful outside the ring. Yes. I mean, you can go hop in a rap video, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like Sugar Ray Leonard had a 7-Up commercial with his son. That ain't the champ. That's my dad.
Yeah.
One of the best, taglines for a commercial ever.
Show me a current.
You see
Bud's
kids?
Yeah, I see his kids. I like the fact that he a normal dude. I mean, he could definitely
exactly. He's got his as mid of a wife as you ever. That's his day one, obviously.
Well, you know what? They look like
that's his hot and ready.
They look like they from John Street. I ain't gonna lie, but that's what I love about him the most. That he ain't Hollywood, and he lived moderate, and that might change because this is probably his highest payday. But he's been making money for a long time, and I haven't seen a change in his attitude at all. I don't think.
Have you seen one commercial of him?
No, but let me ask you this. This is what I was going to ask you. What current fighter in America right now does commercials?
Well, they're all none of them are Olympians.
That's not true.
And none of these guys. Name the last good Olympic fighter, U.S. Olympic fighter
that won gold.
No, the one that's a professional now. That was just a good Olympic fighter, whether he won gold or not.
Well, you got one in the city of Cincinnati. You got 2 in the city of Cincinnati. You got Rasheed Warren.
Who cares about 112-pound men?
Okay, I'll get there.
At least 130.
So everybody that I say, you're gonna say that there's a problem with them because
there is. You have to be special to be outside the ring.
Here's the thing. No one has ever done.
Sugar Ray Leonard was special.
I'm about to
Mike
tell you.
Tyson was special.
No, these
Roy
guys.
Jones Jr. was special.
No,
these guys were special.
No, they did something in boxing that was unique. That don't necessarily make them special. They did something. Mike Tyson was the youngest heavyweight in the world, and he was knocking people out. But yet.
He was marketable because he was young. He knocked niggas out, and he was from New York City. But the main thing that was marketable about Mike Tyson, he was a wayward Negro who was being surrounded and coddled by white folks.
No, he was a thug ass nigga that everybody loved.
A wayward Negro.
No. Well, what I'm saying to you is they sold him in the time where hip hop was being seen and charged, and was indicted on thug shit. That's why he made it so big. He was a brute.
No, not in '86. Okay. Houdini was still out.
Bro, come on, man. I ain't talking about when he won the heavyweight. I'm talking about throughout his career. We're not talking about one fight. We talking about now. I could run down some names of Olympian fighters, and we got them in the city of Cincinnati. You got Rasheed Warren, who's the only 3-time Olympian in Cincinnati, bro.
So you want to be an amateur all your life? At some point, go pro, son.
Bro, hold on, girl. It's one thing about trying to win a gold. He medaled 3 times in the Olympics. You got Duke Reagan, who just won a silver medal a couple years ago in the last Olympics. He's out of Cincinnati.
Nobody cares about horse jockeys.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's get
these guys are 112, 120 pounds.
Oh, he was 126, 130. Yes, okay. But now let me just say this. Then you have Clarissa Shields out of Flint, Michigan. She's won 2 gold medals. 3 gold medals in the Olympics, bro. I mean, these people don't.
So you gonna let a woman carry boxing?
Bro, I just told you 2 men and gave you 1 woman, and now it's about women. Listen, bro. All I'm saying to you is, hold on.
Yes,
the point,
it is.
The point,
that's very significant.
The point was this. I'm trying to tell you that boxers, unlike in the 80s and the 90s, are not as marketable in corporate anymore. Show me.
That's why I said that yesterday. That's why Bud lost the birth certificate lottery, and he's got a very unremarkable nickname, Bud.
Okay, what I'm saying
But
to you, brother, is this. You're looking for someone, if he looked like Sugar Ray Leonard back in the 80s, it probably wouldn't work for him in 2025 because corporate America don't do boxing like they did in the 80s and the 90s. It's a whole different situation. That don't mean in other countries they don't look up to their boxers and their athletes, but in America, you won't see a boxer on the Wheatie box never, ever, probably again. They don't value the sport of boxing like they did in the 80s and the 90s.
That was the point of what I was saying about why he'll never be a superstar.
No, you were saying because he didn't have a personality and he was ugly and all that stuff. And I'm saying that's not what it is.
Well, it sounds like we're just splitting hairs.
No, I'm not splitting hairs. That's exactly what you said yesterday. You said he was ugly, he don't have a personality, and he can't be marketed because he don't really talk a lot. And I'm saying, bro, I don't care if he was Muhammad Ali of today. They wouldn't fuck with him. He wouldn't get any endorsement. Just show me a boxer that acts like Sugar Ray Leonard. And there's guys out there. You got
I'll tell you who had the chance to.
Who?
Tank.
My point
Tank
exactly.
Tank could have, but he's illiterate. Too many tattoos.
Well, first of all, that ain't never stopped them. They did the same shit with Mike Tyson. So now what are you talking about? Tank and Mike Tyson are the same.
Was an anomaly.
No.
That's why he's Mike Tyson.
So what makes Tank any different than Mike Tyson? They both set records. They undefeated.
Tank's 130, 140 pounds. He's a little man.
But he is the face.
And he's illiterate. He's illiterate.
You don't know that, but
I've seen his interviews. That ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer.
That don't mean it. Illiterate means he can't read or write. Okay, but
exactly, he can't speak either.
He has a different type of problem going on. All right, it's just it's something he got going on. It's a thing, but that don't make him illiterate, bro. But my point is this: he is the face of boxing. Not Terrence Crawford really was. I mean, he is now. But before this big fight over the weekend, if you put a name on who's the face of boxing, people like myself, maybe even you, maybe Tiffany Daniels and some of us who really follow boxing, we would say Bud Crawford is the face of boxing. But before this fight over the weekend, everybody would have said, well, Tank is the face of boxing. Tank is, Tank, Gervonta Davis is the face of boxing. My point is, Tank don't have the endorsements. He's not going to be on a Wheaties box. He ain't running down the street in Nikes and doing Nike commercials.
Oh, and plus he beat his wife.
That
twice.
So did Mike Tyson.
Again, Mike Tyson.
Everything you saying, I'm telling you that it's just a different game these days. Mike Tyson was a woman abuser. He went to jail for rape. He was not
but before he went to jail for rape, he was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. His name was Iron Mike Tyson. Okay. He had a hell of a nickname.
Okay, we getting
and
micro.
He had a hell of a backstory. You're right. Like I said, I just feel like we're splitting hairs.
No, we're not splitting hairs. You just not understanding the era of boxing has changed to the point where, and to be honest with you, I really wish it was the way that you think it is, because then these guys would probably have more endorsement deals and be able to live a better life and do different things. They're only in a position to make money when they fight. Sugar Ray Leonard made rental car company commercials. He did the Sprite 7-Up, like you said. These guys had different avenues of making money other than just getting in the ring. If you look at most of the fighters,
I remember he had the Toyota truck commercial with Larry Holmes.
Exactly, bro.
Sugar Ray had the little pickup, and Larry Holmes had the big pickup, right? Like extended cab.
Speaking of Larry Holmes had a shoe deal with Pony. See what I'm saying? Like, these guys don't get deals like that today. The sport has faded away from corporate. It's number one. If you look at UFC, look at how UFC has been able to market their guys.
Okay, let me just say this because I'm up off here. Boxing is a niche sport. It's not. It's a niche sport. It's not like basketball where 3 kids walking down the street can just find a soccer ball in the woods and just go start hooping.
Right, you're right.
Boxing is a niche sport, and the current crop of boxers, the guys that came in, after the Olympics, say after the Atlanta Olympics in 2000 over there or 96, guys that came in after that those guys are a little older now. I'm saying, maybe 2000 Olympics, 2004 Olympics. None of them are Olympic boxers. They didn't build a fan base. That's you build your fan base through the Olympics. That's why we love Roy Jones so much. We watched him. We watched Floyd in the Olympics. We watched the whole '84 squad.
And those are my favorite fighters.
And all them.
Those are my favorite fighters, but they didn't win. I'm sorry. Those are my favorite fighters, but none of them won gold medals.
Who?
Roy Jones didn't win a
The
gold medal.
'84 squad?
Roy Jones did not win a gold medal. Floyd Mayweather did not win.
Roy Jones got the worst robbing of Olympic.
Him and Floyd
of Olympic judging ever.
No, him and Floyd did. That's why boxing is in the
no.
condition.
Roy's was worse. Roy was damn near dropped the boy.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna argue that. I mean, a theft is a theft. Okay, for me, I'm just saying, it's just a different. It's a different day. It's a different era.
I got you. You know, boxing is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, and
so
as much as I would
something that has a one scintilla of disagreement with you, you're gonna take that down to the wire.
Well,
I'm with that. No, I get it.
I can agree. Listen,
hey, bro, I got it. I got you. You good with me?
Fame. The common ground is I agree with what your premise is, and that is these guys should be more promotable. I get that, and I agree with that 100%. What I'm saying is corporate America, you're not going to get Chrysler or Kia or somebody like that to come in and make these guys the spokesperson of their company. They're not going to get those same type of endorsement deals like Sugar Ray Leonard's of the world did. It wasn't because Sugar Ray Leonard and them were better fighters. It's corporate America has moved on from the sport of boxing. Just like you're not going to see them have people up there who are professional cornhole throwers. It's not interesting to the majority of the world. That's boxing has fallen off because the disinterest in boxing is the promotion companies over the last decade have stopped the best fighters from fighting each other. And just the average fan doesn't care about, they don't know the big fights anymore because there's no build up to them. The big fans know about it, okay? But the average fan don't even care about who Tank Davis is. They don't know him because they're not, remember when boxing would come on Wide World of Sports on Saturdays for free?
Yeah, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat.
Exactly, and that's how you know Sugar Ray Leonard so well, because you could sit down and watch him on a Saturday afternoon. And he became a household name. He becomes a household name. Now corporate America now wants this household name to represent their product. You don't get household names are not created on pay-per-view. Household names become created when they're free to the public to see. More eyes see. You'll get 7 million people.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I'd say about 99.5%.
See, there you go. You sit there for a little while, you might agree a little bit more. If you got to do is listen with the two and use the one less.
I'm gonna respect your knowledge of the game. Being directly, getting money directly from boxing. So I have to fall back at some point.
I mean,
and say,
guys.
He has expertise. You want to listen to
him. And here's the thing, Fame.
I just feel like good. I'm sorry.
I'm just to your point. I've shot deals to corporate sponsors that just don't want to have anything to do with boxing. So I know and I know why. It's not a household name it's not a household thing anymore. What messed it up, Fame, if I may say this one last thing, and it's all yours. Pay-per-view messed up the fight game. When boxing was free, it allowed more fans. People don't pay $80 and $85. Everybody don't live like that where we got 3 fights coming up in the next 2 months and we're going to pay $85, $90 per fight. People just don't buy shit like that anymore. They just be How would you feel if we had the Bengals would have less watchers if every time they watched the game, they had to buy it for $29.99. People would wait the next day to see what happened and who won.
I don't want to split hairs, but at one point the NFL had the home blackout rule, meaning that if your team didn't sell out at home, you couldn't watch the game on TV.
Right.
So I don't know how much I agree with that, but like I said, at the end of the day, I totally agree with you. I just feel like Bud, because of that, at the end of the day, if the history of boxing was written today, Bud would basically be Tim Duncan, a Hall of Fame elite skill set that nobody will talk about again.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that, but I will say this towards Tim Duncan, who I didn't out of Wake Forest. I don't think he was he may not have been the most talkative guy in the world. He may not have been all flamboyant and all that, but Tim Duncan did national commercials, even with him being as dry as he was. Tim Duncan did Pepsi Cola commercials,
and the commercial was played off of his dry ass personality.
Probably so, but he got the check.
Just like they did the Dennis Rodman and David Robinson commercial for Pizza Hut, stuffed crust. Remember they played on that saying, "Wow." Dennis Rodman telling David Robinson, like, wow, you wild eating a pizza backward like that.
Yeah, I remember those. But yeah, I guess the point that you're making is if we were in the era of promotions and era of boxers getting endorsement deals, you think that Bud Crawford wouldn't do as well in that area. And I have to just disagree, because I've seen him deal with dry fighters before. And Bud is actually a little bit more fun than you think he is. He's been challenged. He's been the underdog and challenged. And he's not really a braggadocious dude. So it's kind of hard for him to change his personality. If you're around him when the cameras are not around, he's the life of the party, believe it or not.
I'm cutting this bullshit off. Just tell the truth, Wyatt. Bud is your man's in them.
He is, but
Mac's your man's in them.
He is.
So somebody say something about them, you go ride till the wheels fall off.
When it's the truth, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just being honest with you, bro. I'm just being honest. I think that I know your personality too. If you were around Bud, no, seriously, listen, hear me out. If you were around Bud and we weren't on any cameras or nothing, y'all would kick it. Y'all would get along real well. And the reason why I know that is because I know who you are away from the calls and all that. I know your personality. And I'm telling you, bro, Bud got a person. He's just not, he don't do well in front of the cameras because that's just not his thing. But he's the life of the party when you playing cards and dominoes, he that competitive dude that talks shit.
All right, I hear that.
All right.
Hey, always a pleasure. In case y'all didn't know, there's a wolf on your ass. I'm coming. Oh!
All right, there you go. All right. Fame took a lot of energy out of me on that one, but it's all good. Can I show you this one clip before I get out of here? I'm at the top of the hour. Can I show you this one clip? We'll go back to what we were talking about for a hot second. I can't remember exactly where I was with it, but I will share this with you. I was saying something in the area of I believe being married, a man having a wife is an incentive, or it is a reason to go harder. And it may not be that way for everybody, but the importance of being with the right person, you know what I'm saying? The importance of being with the right person is key. Because I think I was saying you can marry a woman that don't want to see you hit your ceiling because it might intimidate her. I don't know a lot of men that are that way. Like I haven't heard a lot of stories of a woman becoming so successful that it ruined their marriage because the man was intimidated that now he's competing against the world to get her attention, and maybe some rich man will come by and sweep her off, or some guy working at the Frisch's drive-through or some old shit. But women, y'all have that one thing that, and this is just my opinion, that intimidation of if your man gets to another level and now you feel like you're competing against everything and everybody. And that's why it's important that you marry the right person, because you don't want that insecurity going on in the relationship. I'm going to show you this clip right here. I am going to keep this clip for the rest of my life. This clip right here means more to me because I see the relationship. And this sister said, getting married is what made me a millionaire. And she didn't mean that to the sense of, well, I married a millionaire, so now my pocket's right. Listen to the confidence that this man gives his wife, and listen to what they do as a unit. Check it out.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Quick question. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
Is this your Rolls Royce?
Actually, sir.
This is your Rolls Royce?
Yes.
And what do you do for a living out here in Tampa to be able to afford the roles?
I'm actually an entrepreneur out here.
Yeah?
Yes.
And how long have you been a business owner for?
Since 2019.
Yeah? And I go all over the country just asking business owners their advice to young entrepreneurs. Is it cool if I ask you a few questions for the channel?
Sure.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
About 2.5 million.
$2.5 million.
Yes.
That's incredible.
It is.
Yeah. Have you ever been broke before?
Oh, but of course. Several times before, but we've hit our stride and now everything's looking up.
And how old are you now?
I actually just turned 40.
If you were to go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self when you were starting from zero, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Believe in yourself, because I doubted myself a lot before I actually took that big leap into working on my own.
How did you find that self-belief? Because a lot of people, they'll doubt themselves continuously and that'll prevent them from reaching their goals. How did you find that self-belief to make millions of dollars?
Honestly, my husband, he's always go out and get it. You got to try something. You got to try it. You don't know if you don't try. So if it was not for him, I wouldn't be here.
How important is it to marry the right person in today's world?
One of the most important things, because if you marry the wrong person, it takes you in the opposite direction of what you're trying to go.
And do you believe in God?
Always.
Yeah?
Yes.
How important has faith been for you throughout your career and throughout your life in general? How important has faith been?
It has been like my number one go-to. That has been kind of like my backbone. That's something that I rely on to get through day to day.
As a 7-figure entrepreneur, what's been the best financial advice that you've ever received?
Don't overextend yourself and make sure the money is working for you, not against you.
500,000.
There you go. One of my favorite clips ever. I think she said she just turned 40 years old. And, sometimes you get with people who make you better, not keep you the same, not okay with your faults and stuff like that. I took a lot of criticism from my wife. My wife's taken a lot of criticism from me. That was earlier in our marriage, where, even before we were married, we had to learn that I was going to be there for her. She was going to be there for me. And you know what I'm saying? We had to kind of know that was it. I personally, as a man, had to know that the woman that I was going to be with was going to always be there, whether I won or lost, or if I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to say this, if I happen to win, would she be a problem? Women should feel the same way. If you happen to win, like in this clip, I doubt that her husband is intimidated by her success. When she got out of the car, what did the dude who was doing the interviewing, what did he say? "Oh, excuse me, sir. Is this your car? Is this your Bentley?" He said he helped his wife out of the car. Said, "No, it's hers. This is hers." You feel me? I don't think he's intimidated by her success. All right. So there's a lot of pieces in that clip that I will put it in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. If I haven't already, I'll put it in there after the show and you guys can keep it. You guys can keep it and do what you want to do with it. Use it for motivation or whatever. Hold on one second. I seen a comment here that I wanted to address. Jerica Vaughn says, she says a question. She says, one day, can we discuss business? Excuse me, screen moved. She said, question, one day, can we discuss business building, getting a vehicle under your business name, building business credit, if you can speak on this? Absolutely. Absolutely. We've done those shows before, but it's been so long ago, it's probably long overdue. Let's get it. I'll be honest with you and tell you that none of that you just mentioned, Jerica, is something that can't be done in the next 12 to 18 months. Let's go one at a time real fast. Then I'll go to the phone for the last call. I have a 4:30 I have to get to. And let's just say this. One day, can we discuss, hold on, getting a vehicle under your business name? There's ways of doing that. That's a lot easier than you think. That's not a matter of, well, it all depends on how you get the vehicle. If you buy a car, you can put it in the name of an existing LLC or sole proprietor. That would be your name, sole proprietor. Excuse me. If you have a business ID number or something of that nature, you can put that car under your name. As far as financing a vehicle under your business name, that's a little bit more difficult to do. And the reason being is because you have to have established credit under your business name. The other thing that I would say, the best way to do it, I'll say it right here on the air. And some may question this and may not think it's right, but trust me, you can do it. You can go in as a fresh start business and you can get a vehicle in your name. I would probably try to lease it. And then you as an individual could be the co-signer on the lease of the business loan. You see what I'm saying? You would have to co-sign. You got to understand, a co-signer only exists if something goes bad. If the payments aren't being made, if you can't, if it goes under, you're ultimately responsible. But as far as it showing up as your debt, a lease is not going to show up on your credit as a co-signer like a traditional loan would show up. Does that make sense, Jerica? If you and I go to the dealership together, husband and wife, and I sign first, you sign second on a traditional loan, that vehicle will show up on both of our credit. If I go in and I lease, we're friends, not married, we're friends. I go in and I lease a vehicle. Okay. When I lease the vehicle, I lease it in my name, but yet, Jerica, you're my co-signer. Under a lease, the only person who's going to get hit on their credit is me. The co-signer on a lease does not show it. It won't show up on your credit unless something goes bad. Unlike a traditional finance, a traditional loan, if unless they've changed it over the years, it's always been that way. When you co-sign on a lease, it doesn't show on your credit report as a debt. Okay. Only the main person, the head signer. So if you were to co-sign on an LLC purchase, if you haven't established enough credit as a business yet, you could still co-sign as a personal guarantee on that lease vehicle for your business. And that car will be under your business name. Okay. And you would get all the tax deductions just like a normal business would. Now, of course, if it goes in default or whatever, now it's starting to report on your credit because now you're obligated to make sure that the payment is paid or turn the car in or whatever. So that's one way. I hope you understood that. I don't remember. She says, well, I'm here to learn. I have my LLC EIN and NUNS number. Okay. So you have an LLC. So basically, if you have an LLC, that means that you have a board of trustees because you have to line up at least 4, maybe 5 people. And I don't know if they're going to align themselves up to be part of a lease because, you can, those are officers of your company. When you have an LLC, you align up officers. Name them: president, vice president, COO, CEO, whatever you do. EIN number is basically just a federal number that they can keep up with your reportings of your taxes and things of that nature. DUNS number is that I believe your DUNS number is something that's dealing with the DUNS, the business. Haven't done that in a long time. I think your DUNS number is basically like what do they call it? Like a business affairs, like when people report problems or when people want to know your reputation in business, they kind of report to your nuns, to your DUNS. They say he's a nonsensical guy, he don't pay his bills, he don't this and this and that. They report you to DUNS if I'm not mistaken. So I haven't dealt with that in a long time, but I think that's what it is. So yeah, we can go over that one day if you guys want to. I have no problem. I just want to make sure that we all going in the right direction, man. Look, what we choose to do and the things that we do to, yeah, there you go. Ross says Don's and Bradstreet, which, to be honest with you, I hate to say this. I don't mean to be rude or nasty. I didn't even think they existed anymore because it's not really, it's almost like not a credit bureau. It's kind of a business reference bureau. It's kind of like what, it's how they grade you on, people that report how you deal with them. And it's good to be there because, of course, if you're getting great feedback, then it looks good, but it can't really stop you from dealing with banks. Okay. It's not that. It's something that maybe like when I was going through my deal with New Era Hat Company. Okay. They wanted to know what my DUNS number was because what they wanted, I was asking for a credit line from New Era. and I had 10,000, but the minimum buy-in order was for 25,000. So I needed a $15,000 credit line to match my 10,000, to go with my 10,000, giving me the minimum buy-in power. You see what I'm saying? So it allowed me to Dun and Bradstreet many years ago. I didn't really have much of an established record with them, but that's where I learned what they were. So I was able to use little vendors that I had already had, that I was doing, gift shop work for, t-shirt companies and stuff like that. I start having all of them report to Dun and Bradstreet, but it was much bigger than that, because if it would have just been hole in the wall companies, it would have been hole in wall companies on my Dun and Bradstreet report. However, since it was the casinos and it was hospitals, those are much bigger companies that was reporting. So it gave me a little bit more credibility. See what I'm saying? So I don't know if Dun and Bradstreet I don't think it's ever going to get in your way at the beginning stages, because they really just want to see what your worthiness is. If I think somebody even may have said that, okay, AK-47, your reputation. Exactly. That sound about right? Okay. Think I guess. Yeah, let's go to the phone lines. I got to hold somebody on hold. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt?
Hey, what's up, twin? How you doing, bro? I got
I'm blessed.
I got about 7 minutes.
I ain't gonna be that long, Wyatt. I ain't gonna be that long.
Oh man, don't say that shit like you don't be on here 20, 30 minutes. Don't say it like that. I ain't gonna be on here long. Damn.
I'm mellow today, man. I ain't,
Okay. You say you what today?
I said I'm mellow today. I ain't,
Oh, you mellow today? Okay.
Yeah, I was listening to your good talking points about business.
Okay.
Trying to take notes and everything, and
okay, good.
It was a good, talking point and everything.
Good.
So I was listening, I was go back and listen again.
Okay.
And everything. I had to, I just left the cemetery and all that.
Oh,
it's been 4 years and stuff since my daughter.
That's right.
So I was go back and listen to it. But it was a hell of a talking point, though, what you was talking about, that business hand and everything. So I was really listening to that. Okay. I want to go call in, but I was going to, go back to it, but I had to call in and everything. Said what a good job you was doing about that.
I appreciate it.
Instead of talking about, other things which people should be focusing on, instead of talking about racism and other issue, what the white man doing and all that, when you should, like people like you, inform them how to move this chess piece instead of keep reneging on the situation. So that's what I was, excited about listening to everything today. So I don't got too much to talk about and everything. I'm out of breath walking this dog.
It sounds like you walking somewhere, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
hey,
all right,
we'll do more shows like this, and maybe.
Oh yeah. Because I was on it how to move things and everything, but I just got to put my pieces together. Okay. My brother gave me ideas, and I had a long time ago. I had ideas about, before I went to the joint, about helping people that couldn't make it to visit their loved one. Okay. I was gonna get a van and everything, charging $50 a watt, but go around from the Chicago land area, like Joliet or Stateville or somewhere like that, to visit their relatives. I always had that in mind, but things happen, but it's never too late.
No, it's never.
I got other things, and me and my brother been talking about doing and everything. So I hope it work out. So all right,
well, keep me posted.
Ain't gonna hold you up.
Keep me posted on what you're thinking about doing, brother. And if you need any advice or need anybody to talk to about it,
if it ain't my brother, I get it from him, because he said, chaperone and all that stuff, and plus about land and all that, and all that. So I'll talk to somebody who knows something, because I can't just jump in it and all that.
No, I wouldn't.
And I don't know nothing about it, and I'm thirsty because this $1 right here, man, you can make more. Man, you said it wasn't, and I invest into it. And here I am, I ain't got nothing. Listen to a goofy, so
yeah,
how it is.
All right, bro. Well,
but
get
I'm
some
keep
questions.
listening.
Here's
man.
what you do,
All right,
twin,
man.
if you don't mind. Get some questions and write them down, and then put them in the screen up here so people can see those questions, and then we can go over the questions just like we did with Jericho.
Okay, then. Okay,
all right,
okay,
bro. Appreciate
okay.
you engaging with us,
All
bro.
right, man.
Talk to you
Okay,
soon.
okay.
All right, bye-bye. LaDonna said there are police down here on Fountain Square. Is that what you said, Donna? I'm sorry, sis. She said, my screen was moving. I'd like to find it. Something to that nature. Said, I can't find it, Donna, but she said something about there are police officers. There's police down on Fountain Square or Government Square, something of that nature. Well, it's about that time, isn't it? It's school time. Oh, she said the police is down here on Government Square. Well, I guess I'll be watching the news in Cincinnati here shortly, because if they're down there circling and doing what they're doing, then I'm sure there's something to be said about that. You know, I just hope it doesn't get out of control. I hope it doesn't get out of control. Non-believer says, can you stock advice without getting in trouble? I don't. Yeah, that has been an issue. I don't really give stock advice, and I've made it as long as you tell people in advance. That's a good question. As long as you let people know, hey, I'm not a professional stockbroker. I'm not a professional this. I'm not a licensed agent. As long as you let people know, I mean, and you're not, acting as if you are one, putting yourself out there like you a stockbroker or something. As long as you tell people, I don't see a problem with it. And especially if you're not investing their money, you know what I mean? Non-believer, he's over on YouTube. I wouldn't. That's one of the issues that I had. I had to discuss that with Dan Whiteley. That's my attorney. He handles certain things like that. Doing the stock club. That's why I wanted to make it clear to everybody. I am not a stockbroker. I do not pretend to be one on TV or a podcast or any of that. I'm none of that. I'm a dude from down the way who has been able to move a certain way and do some things. And everybody, hold on. He says, "Oops" meant give. He said, can you stock advice without getting in trouble? I guess he meant give. Can you give stock advice? Well, not as like, I'm not trying to be your IRA advisor. That's not what we're doing here. As a group, we can all get into something together. We can discuss some things of what we're doing and what we're talking about doing. And hey, I love Verizon because Verizon is my host. Y'all like Sprint because Sprint is your host. If you're controlling your own actions, your own trades and stuff like that, I'm not controlling them. You're controlling them. You're controlling your own money. We're just having conversations. I don't see anything wrong with that. You're not working in the capacity of a financial advisor or anybody like that. You see what I'm saying? So that would be my answer to that. Non-believer says, do you use any apps for trading? What I've used in our stock group is going to be something as easy as Cash App. And the reason why I use Cash App is because it's convenient. Very little fees, if any. All right. I think it's 2 cents on the dollar. That's a very low trade source. And the other thing to that non-believer on YouTube is if you use Cash App, you have easy access to your money. You can make you have your money set up in Cash App, which they can take your money straight out of your Cash App account directly into that trade that you want to make. See what I'm saying? And it's easier for me too, because I don't have access to your Cash App. So I can't control your money, and it protects me from, hey, you made that transaction. You made that off your Cash App. So, we were just talking, and here's the thing. I have no financial gain. I have no financial loss of the things that you choose to do out of your account. Hey, that's my time. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Wyatt Live. See you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Peace and love to you all. I just love to justify my love sometime. I'll holler at you.
Just feel right here, quick. It's like it's supposed to happen, this one right here. Young. God damn. Let me justify my thug on this one right here. It goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, the party about to pop, then Rockefeller, y'all. It's your boy, yes, Dot, and I ain't never been in jail. I ain't never pay a nigga to do no dirt for me. I was scared to do myself. I will never tell, even if it means sitting in the cell. I ain't never ran, never will. I ain't never been smacked. A nigga better keep his hands to himself or get clapped for what's under that man's belt. I never ask for nothing, I don't demand of myself. Honesty, loyalty, friends, and then wealth. Death before dishonor, and I tell you what else. I tighten my belt before I beg for help. Foolish pride is what held me together through the years I wasn't felt, which is why I ain't never played myself. I just play the hand I'm dealt. I can't say I've never knelt before God and asked for better cause. Sometimes it no avail, but I never sat back feeling sorry for myself. If you don't give me heaven, I raise hell till it's heaven. For you, for you. For you, to justify my thug, my hoping, for you. Now if you shoot my dog, I'ma kill your cat. Just the unwritten laws in rap. Know that for every action is a reaction. Don't have me relapsing. Relaxing's what I'm about, but about mine. Don't be acting like you can't see street action. Take me back to reasonable doubt time. You see my mind's on the finish line, facing the wreck. I put my motherfucking faith in the tech. Tell Satan not yet. You understand I'm chasing my breath. I am narrowly escaping my death. Oh yes, I am the Michael Schumacher of the rock roster, traveling Mach 5, barrel in my apparel can stop God. God forgive me, but I can't let them deliver me to you until I won this race. Then eventually my engine gon' burn out. I get whatever is meant for me, however it turns out fine. Red line, oh. For you, for you. For you, to justify my thug, my hoping. They say an eye for an eye, we both lose our sight. And two wrongs don't make a right. But when you've been wrong and you know all along that it's just one life, at what point does one fight? Good question, right? Before you knock the ball, try to put your dogs in it. 10 and a halves for a minute and a half. Bet that stops all the grinning and the laughs. When you play the game of life and the win ain't in the bag. When your options is none and the pen is all you have. Or the block, niggas standing tight as lemons on the app. Try to cop a shop, call they self-cleansing in the cash. But can't put their name on paper cause then you on blast. Mr. President, is drugs in our residence. Tell me what you want me to do. Come break bread with us. Mr. Governor, I swear there's a cover up. Every other corner there's a liquor store. Fuck is up. For you, for you.